Inferno ban comes out from Space. That is their perma. Yep, fair enough. Dust 2 getting banned by Apogee is weird. I'm not entirely sure. Probably just looking at Space and going, we don't like it. Space pick up Mirage. Makes sense. They play an absolute ton of it. Ancient comes up for Apogee, and I've lost it off the bottom of my screen. That makes sense. It's a good map for them. And then we end up dropping Nuke, Anubis, Vertigo is the final map. We've rattled through all of that. The teams have started early. We are straight into the pistol, and Koloku is taking a rough old fight into CT, just trying to bait for Polo realistically on these Julies, but that is a disgusting spray. And Danis and Fossil take full advantage to buy an early 3-on-5.
Yeah, Space looking to shut us up real quick here with some very strong initial kills. Another headshot from Danis as well to put down that retake before it may even have a chance to start. As you can see, Virtuoso basically alone. His teammate already dinked up. The heads are showing themselves, but well, with a flank also coming through right now, I don't think there's really a ton that they can do. Not seeming to be too cautious about it either, although Prism will have a little look. Did he see the shoulder? Either way, the shot rattled out and he's lost his teammate, so yeah, pretty much screwed. A kill or two would have been nice to build up the economy a slight bit there. Make use of the double Berettas, but it doesn't happen. X5 instead finishes off the round for them, gives Team Space that opening pistol round. So yeah, pretty great start, some solid trades. They just brute forced their way out onto that A bomb site as far as we could tell anyway. But obviously we hopped in a little bit late. I don't think there was any massive amount of utility or anything involved. Just rely on their aim, keep it simple.
Brute force. It's about what we expect, I think, realistically. This veto really leans that way as well. Maybe Ancient can be a bit more technical for Apogee or Brazilishki, depending on who you're looking at. But realistically, this is Pug Central. We're going to see the individuals trying to get the best out of it. Nice opening from Danists, as we mentioned. You know, one of those players for Team Space who we are going to need to see in a major way if this is going to be a competitive one. Hazanator just working his way up short here. There's a couple of corners to clear. Nice pot flash in, but Koloku gets the better of him. MP9 up against Galil at close range, and well, the SMG very powerful for the CT side. X5 is going to try and lurk this smoke. Surely he's been spotted here. He has indeed, and Swizz, again, that MP9 just tearing through. Trunic doing what he can. Corner of the smoke will at least be able to find the trade. But the man advantage still there for now, and Trunic taking a decent little lick of damage as he drops out a window as well. Okay. Nice kill. Shadow advantage.
Another Galil picked up there for Prism as well, so and they've got the rifles, a scout, and MP9, a two-man advantage. Trunic's already damaged heavily. These are kind of the two players we pointed out to keep our eyes on as well for Team Space, so let's see if they have a chance of eventually turning this around. They've got a little bit of time. I was going to say they've got time, but not really, honestly. Just over 30 seconds to move quickly with this, or maybe make the decision for a save. I don't think that's going to happen, though. They want to give it a go.
Yeah, it's a tough one to try at this point. CT position's well established. Prism down the ramp. He's in a fantastic spot. They do flash Koloku off the angle just to try and give Trunic some time to work his way up top con. But, I mean, there's 10 seconds on the clock. This is a save. It's just taking them a long time to come to that conclusion. Trunic will try and maybe grab an exit here or there. But he's got to be very cautious as well. He won't get any money if he goes down after time. He's only got $1,000 to his name. So as much as he'd like to maybe hunt with that Mac 10, see if he can get a kill, recover a rifle, it is just going to be a no. You have to try and hold on to what you can. And, I mean, you look at the economy down that Team Space side of things, it is disgusting. Really no money at all left in the bank. I mean, Fossil, X5, and Hasanator, they can force, but it's going to be upgraded pistols and Kevlar. Maybe a Mac 10 if they really want to try and squeeze it out. And for Apogee, it's a very strong buy, we're honest. Virtuoso, he sticks to the MP9, but everyone else is going to have rifles. A couple of those kindly donated Galils forming the backbone of it. Koloku even on an AK-47 as Prism, the only man who finds himself on a CT rifle. Koloku wants this fight as well. Going to set up double mid play. I like the idea. The problem is Danist has just clean opened up. And, well, Swizz, he was trying to play anti-flash and he sold his teammate down the river there. Able to get at least a kill out of the situation, but man advantage Team Space early on in this round.
Yeah, that went incredibly poorly. Didn't have the timing correct on the player playing anti-flash up at top mid either, unfortunately. Couple AKs, a Mac 10, bit of utility as well, including a smoke. So Team Space have the time, they have the numbers, and they have that bit of utility to work with when they finally do make a decision, as they slowly creep their way up short now. And Polo just about misses the time in there to actually get that info as well. That is unfortunate. It's going to leave the MP9 alone up in the apartments now. Virtuoso will probably be spotted, even if he sees them as they start to cross over. It's not a position he can do a lot from.
I mean, realistically, it should be one and done, right? There's a clean trade to be found, and it's all on his timing. Virtuoso, he's not spotted anyone yet. He's let them out onto the site itself. Now Fossil's seen, but it's seen both ways. Nice shot from Woozy to get at least one, but quickly traded out. Woozy or Virtuoso, apparently, depending on where you look. And for the two remaining players on Brajaliski or Apogee, depending on where you look, it is going to be the save again. I mean, this is, yeah, it's about what we expected from this game, right, Dean? It's very back and forth. Neither team can really establish any control of the situation. And it's just turning into who can click heads a little bit quicker. And at the moment, that's Danist.
Yeah, we said it'd be a chaotic brawl, and it's definitely living up to that nature in the early stages. Yeah, Danist's look good as well, as you were saying. 4-0. Bringing the AK forward, a couple of clean entries early on in the round as well, which is what opened up to actually give them the chance. Well, with a Galil and an M4 at least being carried forward, a little bit of money in the reserve, they should be able to scrape out another rifle here and at least have a decent enough buy to work with on the CT side. So Apogee definitely have a chance to swing back and potentially keep this back and forth in play. Yeah, masses as well, so it's actually a little bit better even than I thought it would be.
It's not too shabby, is it? I mean, I fundamentally disagree with the FAMAS, but I'll shelve those opinions and give Prism an opportunity to prove me wrong. Again, very strong buy from the T side. I mean, there's back and forth. It always is a bit of an arm wrestle, and each time the team who win the previous get a little bit more cash to invest into. So 4 AK-47s, X5 the man to take the sacrifice, recovered MP9. And again, it's this mid setup. Team Space absolutely decimated it last time around. This time again, Flashbang goes in. Swizz, however, does a little better than Kaloku did previous. X5 now working his way out of the underpass, trying to have some impact. Does manage to deal with the low HP of Swizz, but Polo immediately in with the trade to top mid. Trunic able to catch Kaloku, who had just no idea where to look, and he doubled up as well as Polo's caught in no man's land. And suddenly, what was a very strong situation for the CT side has flipped on its head. The mid control is gone. You can see Virtuoso making a slow play to try and gain a little bit of that back. And Prism, well, he's completely stuck on the A site.
They're heading back around towards Ado, so this might work out. Prism in on default, I believe. The rotation that can come relatively quickly from CT. I mean, the weaponry, though, is really what's going to hold them back here up against the AKs. Trunic's health, though, there is still hope. And Nade as well, that could be well timed. And Smoke maybe create some angles.
Realistically, 20 seconds on the clock, what you're hoping for is that they don't clear your angle here.
Yeah.
And maybe you can catch a couple of kills. That Molly is savage. The HE to follow up is evil. And on 5 HP, yeah, Trunic doing what he does. Cleans up house. And, well, again, for Virtuoso, I mean, he does well. He gets a nice kill onto Trunic, and that might tempt him into giving this one half a look in. He does manage to recover an AK as well, and they start giving him peaks, and that's dangerous. Virtuoso doubles his kill count, and for X5, I mean, this is a lad with a fair whack of experience. We've seen him at pretty much all levels of Counter-Strike. He's got to try and hold on to this one. Tucks himself deep CT. Virtuoso, no kit to play with. So he really has got to clear this one and clear it fast. And X5 is playing it smart, just giving him no angles to work with. The bomb gets tapped, but it's a full 10-second stick. X5, there's the jump peak. There's the information. And there is the round. Team Space, they will finally break the back of this back-and-forth situation. They will find themselves a third round. And with an ugly kill, they will finish the job. Nobody survives it. But it is Team Space with the 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Virtuoso got confused by the peak. X5 hadn't realized he had crossed all the way back over towards connector side, I guess, but yeah, caught him with a knife out either way. Did die to the bomb in the end, so no one survives, and well, full reinvestment from Team Space. It should be just a straight up eco now from Apogee, and most likely a 4-1 lead early on for Team Space, trying to prove us wrong. This is their map choice, as long as the thing up the top left is correct. I believe it is. Yeah. Had to double check.
We're having one of those days at the moment.
Yeah, just making sure. I mean, the HUD just sometimes doesn't cooperate. We know that. We've used that ourselves past. Upgraded pistol wise though, they've only got a couple dual Berettas here, so even 1 or 2 kills would be I think maybe a bit too much to ask. Obviously, he didn't see the foot there a moment ago. I think there was a tiny pixel of it shown. Better way, he's going to get his chance on the Mac 10. Good control to flick back onto the second. Player up close here that might not be expected by Hassan, though. I just don't think he really has the weapon to make it work, unfortunately. And yeah, it is Swizz. They fall back just in time to avoid potentially losing the weapon. And, well, Paulo's left with just a USP on the A-bomb site now. So if he comes away with a kill, it's a mini miracle.
There's potential. I mean, if Danis goes out, which I would be tempted to send the Mac 10 out early here because he's 1 HP, who cares? If you can get a dink on him, and that's a nice dink on Fozzle. I mean, it's not going to get rewarded, but you have to admire the shots when they connect at the very least. It is going to be a 4th round on the board for Team Space here. Swizz, again, a kill. Maybe a double if we're getting very greedy with it, but he's not going to clear Danis, and that should be game over. Although Danis just lets his teammate get shot in the back of the head before he finds him the smoke, making that one a little awkward for everyone involved. But it is the 4-1 lead for Team Space on, as you mentioned, their map pick. And I think that is going to be very important as we get through this one. Now, both teams are going to want to take their map pick, going to want to take it strongly. Not going to want any of this having a reverse sweep, having to take your opposition's map pick nonsense, because this is a brawl. And where's the best place to brawl than your home ground? Buy will come in just about for Apogee. Full rifles, but not going to be able to afford the big green, which Team Space, of course, will get, and of course will immediately put onto their Starman Danists.
Yeah, Space have actually won out their last couple of Ancient games as well, surprisingly. So, and quite heavily, 13-2 versus Favbet, and then 13-5 versus Aurora Youngblood. So, I mean, not the best teams we've ever seen, but solid enough teams. And if they can come off the back of Mirage here with a competent victory, then they could definitely be setting themselves up for a 2-0, which would be proving us pretty wrong with both of our predictions, of course, going over towards Apogee. Although we did give the player to watch to Team Space. So far, that's living up to its hype. Danis looking good, only 5 rounds in so far. Straight onto the up as well. Was boosted up to see if he could catch the cross, just a little bit slow on the reaction times. And, well, in the meantime, we're seeing the CTs actually go for that mid-aggression, not noting any T presence, I believe. So, actually going to opt to leave Paulo here.
It's a nice setup. They've tried it pretty much every time they've had rifles on the CT side here, Apogee, just playing for that mid-control. The problem is, more often than not, they have just been disassembled like an old Lego set. It's just sort of pick the pieces apart until it all falls down. Really need to hold on to it. And when you've got that mid-control, you sort of need to do something with it. I mean, we've seen it here, and we're starting to see it now with Polo. He's going to push for the control, and he won't quite win his fight out. X5 goes down low, but the man advantage is there. And suddenly, the opening minute they've held on to mid-4 means very little because they're a man down, and they've got no information about where this hit's going to end up. So Prism becomes looking very isolated over towards the A-bomb site. You can see the rotations coming in from the CT side, but it is just a guessing game here. They're hoping that because Kuloku, who's cleared his way all the way into spawn, that this will likely end up in an A-take. And for the time being, they look like they're going to be right about it. Prism will tuck himself in under Dark, try and play a little bit of a crossfire with Swizz in towards CT. As that wall of smoke starts to come out, and here comes the play. Nice molly. That's going to force Prism to reconsider. Kuloku, meanwhile, has made that backstab count, has found the low HP X5, and that means there's no more utility coming this way for the T side. Swizz takes a leg, and there's the punishment from Fozzle. Prism is still yet to be cleared, and Virtuoso is baiting him in beautifully. There comes the swing, and there comes the round for Team Apogee.
And they needed it like that as well. They keep the 3 players standing, managed to pick up a bit of utility as well in the process. They didn't even have a kit in that round. They had lost the player early on. I think they were down to like a couple of smokes with still a minute on the clock as well. So it really was just going to come down to them making those frags work. And they do. The economy's still just about okay for Team Space. Not amazing. There is a Galil in there on Danists as well. A Deagle for Trunic, 2 of the players you definitely want on AKs, at least. And then utility also could be better. So Team Space in for a tough round potentially here. If they lose this one, then they're facing the Eco. It'll allow Apogee to tie things up and maybe even have a chance of getting themselves into the lead. So I don't think Team Space want to allow that to happen. Early mid presence from the utility there on both sides. Numbers wise, it's only X5 for the moment moving out. He'll put that smoke down on window. I think his teammate may have thrown something. Just a flash, actually. Sorry, I thought it was a smoke towards connector. But there's no heavy presence from the CT side, at least not initially. They are considering maybe taking a slightly later fight from connector, it looks like.
This is the benefit of playing those aggressive mid setups early on, is you can see the T side burning a ton of util to clear it out. And that util goes for nothing because the CTs make a nice adjustment. They completely bail out of it. And it puts them in a really solid position here. Just a handful of smokes remaining for the T side to try and get something done. One of them goes back towards the window again. With a couple of mollies and a flashbang, I mean, this is going to be just swing it and pray. Danis looking to do exactly that as he shifts his way up short. Hasanator working his way towards bottom of con, but Swizz is in a good spot here. Nice angle to clear either short or if we see someone advancing up through connector. Just going to be a game of the timings, and here comes Danis round the corner. Michael Jackson peaks. Swizz is more than up for the task, and the double spray down as well. One by one they come, and one by one they fall. Hasanator thinking about being the next man to give this one a crack, because it does want to be a B split here with Fozzle and Trunic, but Trunic only on that deagle makes it again that little bit more difficult. Polo manages to deal with the mid player Hasanator, and this just looks one-dimensional. Virtuoso with a nice kill. I mean, Trunic, yeah, he manages to nab one on the deagle, but immediately the trade comes through. And this is nice from Apogee or Brasiliski Lol, depending on who you want to talk to. It's looking more solid. They've clearly got some nice ideas for how they want to play the CT side. And if they hit their shots, they're executing them solidly enough.
Yeah, should have a chance to keep on sailing smoothly for the moment here. I don't even think we're really going to see pistols being upgraded for space. They want to prioritize on that next gun round, where honestly it's not going to be all that great with just 2400 coming in. Have a flash, that's all I believe. Yeah. They're actually
This is a classic, isn't it?
Keeping most of the presence on ramp, surprisingly. It's not the waterfall, it's just one player to maybe fake it out initially there from Palace, give them a moment to create some space as they come out ramp.
Just flash out of lamps. Oh, Prism, to keep your gun out, lad. Fozzle does well. They get a kill, they get two out of it. I mean, that's fantastic considering how little they brought into the equation. And there is a couple of rifles to be recovered here. Polo with a slightly wayward shot. Quickly mopped up before it gets too dangerous. But honestly, I mean, did we really expect them to get anything out of that round, let alone 2 kills?
Wasn't far off getting the plant though, that was the main thing. Nearly made the cross, I think got caught just as a pixel or two were just going in behind cover, so that was unfortunate. The bomb plant would have given them that full utility on everyone, and maybe even the glass cannon up if they wanted it, so that does hold them back a tiny bit, but overall it's a decent buy and they have a chance to start winning out some rounds again. And well, I'd like to see them do it here and now, because sure, they went out that early kind of scrap and managed to take control on the back and forth, but since the guns have truly come out, it looks like it's Apogee's game right now.
Definitely feels that way. Definitely feels like they've got a bit more of an idea about how they want to play this. Seen a couple more setups. A little bit of a IQ play. Smokes will stop a con this time for Team Space though, and they are starting to adjust to the fact that we're not seeing Apogee really go for that mid-controller solidly as we did in the previous few rounds. So a little bit of smoke spam both ways. Koloku sitting inside of it. He does catch the timing onto X5, and that's a nice little pick, able to fade away. Using the T-side smoke against them. I mean, the CTs, they do concede the mid-control, but only for a moment as Gnome goes back in for more. Traded away by Trunic, and in amongst the chaos, Kroloko and then Polo able to find a killer piece and leave Trunic, as we said, second star of this Team Space lineup, but a 4v1 feels a little far-fetched on the health he has remaining. Kroloko, well, he just confirms that suspicion. A 5th round on the board for Team Apogee, and this is where you start to worry a little bit about Team Space and really what they've got left in the locker, because these T sides, I mean, not including the half-buy and not including the pistol, it's been mid-control every single time near enough, and Apogee have reacted well to it. They've set up aggressively into mid a couple of times. They've sat passively off and let the T-side waste their utility a couple of times. What we really need to see is something of a different look out of this T-side, some secondary strategy or idea to be called, just to make Apogee rethink things a little bit and try and unsettle them slightly. And this is exactly the kind of round where you can do something like that. You can see Prism for now is left a little isolated over towards the A site, and with plenty of pistols up close and personal, there's a lot of potential for damage. Koloku trying to play around that stairs smoke. Can't quite get the vision he's after. There's a nice flashbang in for Prism, but it's only a 1-for-1, and this is more like it for Team Space. A site is theirs for the taking. There's rifle to be recovered as well, and they should be able to get this bomb down without too much trouble. How long can they hold on to their lives is the question. Nice shot from Danist as he punishes the missed AWP shot of Polo and puts his team in a position to really get something done here. He's got his favorite AWP. It's a 3v3. His teammate in Firebox has got himself a rifle, and it's all Danist. 2 more quick kills on the AWP as he leaves Swizz in a 1v3. Does find the first. He's got no util to clear out any of these remaining players. Not that he needs it. Fozzel goes down, and suddenly Hasanator, the one man left who didn't have a rifle to play with, has got to try and land this shot. 5-second defuse. He's going to stick it out. The Deagle's not landing anywhere near. Hasanator's got no idea where to look. And they get away with murder, Apogee. They fluffed it. They let them into the site. They let the plant come through, and they should have let the round slip through their fingers.
Yeah, I mean, good work initially from Danists. I don't think the re-peek then was necessary into Swizz, but even after that, it was very well played by Swizz. He wasn't necessarily given that second kill, but he took a strong angle up on the bench to snatch that one up and then plays it well, just hopping straight onto the bomb and sticking it as soon as he realizes, obviously, that final player doesn't have a rifle. Great work. 6-4 for Apogee. I mean, we're getting some very close rounds. It's not like they're taking these easy, but they are still building up a tiny bit of money and, more importantly, building up the lead for themselves. If they can get these final 2 rounds, they'll be sitting at a pretty 8-4, putting themselves in a position where if they take the pistol, then I don't think there's going to be a lot of fight left, rather, for Team Space.
Yeah, Team Space running out of opportunities here. Again,
Punished.
nice idea. Little bit of proactivity. Fozzel can't quite land the initial shot. The spray will be good for 1. It's traded at the very least. Koloku able to find the kill. 4-on-4 trade, though, not ideal for a CT side. Definitely leaves a little bit more space for Tees to do their work. And X5, well, he's taken full advantage of the space. Look at this. Through the murder hole into CT. There is so many timing to play here, and Polo gets the better of all of them. Clears his way in at the perfect moment. Meanwhile, Trunic has actually managed to clear out Swizz on short, and that's going to bait them right into this now. Virtuoso on the secondary AWP sits backside of B. Not that it's relevant, because Trunic has just hit a worldie. Danist has dealt with the rotate, and now it's all on Polo. Nice shot for 1. He's going to dive out this window. Timing is everything. It's an ugly fight. And well, Danist, he says, look, Hasanator, if you're going to miss that spray entirely, I'm going to shoot him through you and get the job done anyway.
Yeah, finally clawing out another round, and actually with it, leaving the economy of Apogee in a pretty weak place. They just about scrape out the buy for now. There's a FAMAS and an MP9 in there. They have the op at the very least, but this one goes south. Obviously 6-6 at the halftime. Not a bad position for Team Space to be in, and that pistol round really could be the deciding factor in who is driving the game in that second half. Heavy towards A early on there for Team Space. They got smoked off, so I think they decided against anything too quick. Actually, no, are going to start bursting out a ramp now. The dink not followed up on. Big shot from Hasanator there to open things up, and although there is 2 players in the CT spawn right now, they seem to have focused on taking that connector control.
It's working out for them as well. X5 goes down. X5 doesn't go down, he gets the kill. Buys his team a 3-on-5. Danist is reading it like a book as well. They want this CT retake. Nice idea with the nade stack, Danist. Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him, lad. He's looking for it. The nade goes in and does a lot of the damage for him. He has got bombs, so needs to get this plant down sooner rather than later. CT smoke isn't going to last too much longer. But as he gets it down, I mean, at this point, with Prism and Swizz both tacked up, Danist gets 1. That's Virtuoso gone. And it's only the low HP players remaining. Make it nobody remaining. 6-all as we head to the halftime. Honours even at the end of the first half. Brajaliski lulls, or Team Apogee. Not really able to grab control of the situation, you have to say. At 6-4 up, it felt very solid. They looked like the rifles were working fantastically for them, and Team Space didn't have an answer. And then just a couple of really brawly basic rounds go against them. And it levels things out on the map pick of Team Space, pushing Apogee over onto that T side with one molly, one smoke, and only one site to hit here. Realistically, it is going to be the A site play. How much can Trunic get done before that bomb goes down?
Yeah, I mean, playing from the CT spawn is a bit of assistance on stairs now, but they might just be forced back into the retake setup. Although the lurker on mid here is in a bit of trouble. Fuzzle, yeah, hooks himself in, has assistance from short, and with a man advantage now, they're not in a terrible spot. They have a kit, they have the numbers, and the bomb only just about goes down now with all 5 players already rotated over. So let's see what way this retake plays out now. 4 in CT.
Plenty. This is a really nice setup. No flashbang either for Apogee to really get Prism into an angle to get something done. He's going to actually bail out of CT entirely, and that's going to sell his teammates right up the river. 2 quick kills. It's the Julies of Hasanator that actually take out their own teammate in Trunic, and in amongst the chaos, it's Virtuoso who takes full advantage with a double. And he's got so many low HP bars to play with here. X5, 11, just needs to stick that defuse for all it's worth, and he can't quite get it done in time. It is absolute carnage once again. Would you expect any less? Everyone goes down, but it's Apogee who take their T-side pistol.
Yeah, I mean, moving in from CT there starts off fantastically for Team Space. Then that team kill comes in, and it all just completely unravels, unfortunately. Allows Apogee to get themselves into the lead now. Been a little while since they found any rounds. They kind of needed that pistol round to try and shore up their confidence just a small bit again. Up against a semi-decent force buy though. I mean, a scout and some MP9s can cause some serious damage, but you can see Apogee themselves realized that a buy like this is fairly likely, so they've gone relatively heavy on the rifles, even if it is mostly kills. Fuzzle takes... Oh, he might actually die. I thought he was going to die to that. Now just about gets into a corner that's slightly safe. 17 health remaining though, and well, it made a ton of noise as well, so they'll be definitely clearing underneath Palace on their way out. Unfortunately, it's through the smoke though into a 5-7. It tries to make it difficult with 1 kill. A little bit of damage from the scout as well allows for the molly to finish off 1, but it's still a man disadvantage on the retake.
Virtuoso's molly taking out one of his own teammates in amongst the carnage. Would you expect any less? That bomb just waiting to go down, trying to clear out a little bit more control before they do so. Polo does well to deal with Hasanator. I mean, at this point, X5, yeah, he's just not on the angle, not in the right position to have impact. Virtuoso able to clean him up. And the force buy, well, it's a decent effort. They get a couple of kills. Well, they only get 1, realistically. It's actually the molly of their own teammate that gets the second. But a lot of damage done. And potentially you could have seen a world where that worked. Unfortunately, the firepower of Apogee just a little bit too much. And as a result, this half buy for Space, it's going to be a little ugly. Handful of upgraded pistols here and there, just looking for the buy into the next round. So should be 9-6 before Brajaliski see any kind of response from the CT side. And that's going to be the problem, because this is the map pick of Team Space. We're headed to Ancient next, which, well, they play a lot, Team Space, but it's not a good map for them.
No, other than the fact that their last couple of games went okay. Not against great opponents, though, as we had mentioned. And we do know for Apogee, it's a fairly strong map. Pistols here. I mean, a couple of kills would be a decent result from Team Space. B is clearly the target with the split coming in, so a lot of angles for those pistols to deal with, and unfortunately none of them are really close range fights, which is what they would have wanted. Even Trunic alone, he's had some decent kills so far. Can he take a couple to the grave with him? No, not quite. Virtuoso is ready.
You were trying to build that up, but yeah, nothing happening.
Sometimes you get those crazy deagle flicks that just start connecting. I don't know if you ever have it yourself, like it's just happening. You're not even sure how you're aiming so well.
Oh, I've never hit a shot in my life. I've never hit a shot in my life, no. I'm very much a brain and not aim kind of player, which is, I think, the polar opposite of what we're seeing in the server at the moment. We'll get the buyout from Team Space, though, and Danis will get his AWP. I mean, he's 14-9. He is trying to put his team on his back at the moment. He's been doing a good job. Definitely won them some rounds single-handedly on the T side. The problem, as always, is CT. You've got to get that rotation in, and they are just going to lurk out A. Danis works his way into CT, and Trunic, he's yet to be cleared. There's a free kill on the board. Make it a double. Polo able to wallbang him out, and there's a lot of damage onto Fozzle in the meanwhile, but still, Danis lies in wait, and he's tucked into CT. There's no util to clear him out. The edge of a smoke is the friend of Fozzle, and this round has fallen apart. They try and go a little cheeky with it, I think, Apogee, and they've been punished for it. Prism, he needs a kill here, and he needs one quickly. Does manage to deal with Fozzle without taking any damage, which maybe opens up half an alleyway. His teammate calls out. He's seen Hassanator working his way out the window as Prism misses the jump, and Polo, well, he goes back in for another bite, deals with X5 inside of the site, knows the AWP is likely still lurking CT, and he knows where Hassanator was as well, so it opens up an alleyway for a plant here. And he's going to get it down as well. Polo still a Molotov to play with. Danis' position known. And as Hassanator looks to join up with him here, this is a nice after-plant situation for Prism to find himself in. If Polo can go 1-for-1, then this one is definitely on. Hassanator starting to work his way out. It's a game of timings, and Gnome's got the better of one of them. Danis can't quite land the shot, and it's left to the 1v2. He knows there's a man towards Connector, but there's no reason for Prism to peek whatsoever. Polo's still alive and kicking somehow, some way inside of the site. And as this clock slowly rips away from Danis, nobody giving him an opportunity, nobody giving him a peek. It is going to be double digits for Apogee.
It just fell apart from the 2-on-3. And one player trapped on A, one in mid. It really should have been team spaces round. Instead, they're forced to give up double digits. They'll be taking an eco with maybe just a few pistols now, and they'll have one more chance at the gun round. Is not a good spot to be in on their own map choice at all. Got the loss bonus, so there's some investment, a little bit of armor behind the pistols, and an MP9 there for Trunic, a couple smokes. Tiniest bit of hope. That's all it is, a tiny bit.
Yeah, we need some magic here. We need some
stack,
old school CIS Deagles, I think.
Might be the right call.
Yeah, they're in the right spot. 4 players ready and waiting at B. They've read the situation well a few times, Team Space. They've put the firepower where it's needed most. The problem previously has been that that sort of hasn't mattered, and despite having the stacks, they've just been traded out cleanly by the T side and not really left with anywhere to go. This time, perhaps things will be a little bit different. Molotov's a little shallow. Fozzle able to play behind it. Can't actually see through the top of the flames. They know he's here, and they know how to trade him down. X5 gets one, does well from short, but he's losing teammates left, right, and center here. And it's just the site falling in a matter of moments. It's only a single kill out of those Deagles. Not quite the magic we were after. And for Trunic, exit kill, maybe grab an AK and smuggle it away towards a site, but that's going to be all he's getting. It's 11 on the board for Apogee, and this is Team Space's map pick, don't forget.
Yeah, and it's not going to be any easier going forward on Ancient. Open for an exit on the MP9, I guess. It's probably just going to cost him his life, unfortunately. There you go. Hanging onto the Kevlar maybe would have been the way to go. Instead, they have one last chance here at the gun round. Not onto Danis at the very least again. He's had some decent impact when he's had it in play most of the time anyway. But it's now or never. Straight towards mid it looks like for Apogee. A little bit of presence on mid, actually a lot going over towards the apartments. Might be for them to go out through under to get them in control, but also be, as you were saying, yeah, that's been towards B again that we've already seen a couple of times. Yep, unfortunately missing its opening there, that was almost a gift in on mid. Didn't expect them, I guess, to go under from the smoke. I don't think Prism fully intended to either.
He's going to go for the boost up, yeah. And there's going to be a lot of bodies waiting for him. Needs a quick shot, lands it, nice. Swizz goes down. Exactly the start this CT side needed. First time in a while they've had a man advantage and been able to hold on to it as well, as Danis quick on the reposition. Works his way towards the E-box. And this is where I think we need to see a little bit out of Apogee. It's the first time in a while they've really been put in a negative situation where they've got to try something a little different. Working their way through this mid-control. Polo staying scoped up. Making sure he's not giving away any sound cues at all. And it is going to be a game of timings all over the shop here. Missed shot from Polo. Nice trade at the very least, but immediately Immediately, Prism goes down. Danist's in a great position to trade that one out. And for these two remaining players, Virtuoso and Clocku, they are going into the Lion's Den. X5 is set up on the angle. Danist, well, he can pivot and will be ready and waiting for this drop coming out of the apartments. The util ineffective. Here comes Clocku. There's the freebie. And for Virtuoso, a 1v4 to try and stitch together, but there is so many crosshairs just awaiting his every move, and X5 is having none of it. Team Space aren't going to go down quietly here on Mirage.
Bit of lifeline at least being snatched up. Need to be pretty much flawless though if they want to make this win happen, so let's see. Sand's been quite quiet as well. Good wake up, the difference maker. It's been a team effort on both sides, really. In the top kills, 11 is the lowest on Apogee, and as I said, other than Hassan having a poor game, Team Space are looking pretty solid across the board as well individually. And nade damage is going to be tough to recover from. Hollow and Prism both down to roughly half. Slow default. Change in pace in comparison to what we've seen from both of these sides so far on their offense.
I like the idea. Bit of a switch up, but Space have read it well. They've just settled into their control, kept hold of as much of their utility as possible. Still 2 smokes to stall this one out with a minute on the clock, make that 1. And they're well placed to deal with this flank as well. Fossil gets the better of Swizz. And again, this starts to look a little one-dimensional for the T side of Apogee. 3 players working their way towards the A ramp. Clocku, he's in a position to have impact, but it's got to get his players out onto site first. With 40 seconds on the clock, they've got to get into a retake scenario for him to really have anything to do. It's a nice flashbang, but Danist is posted on the angle. And it makes it all too easy for the AWP just to hit a prediction shot on the timings alone. 30 seconds on the clock. And still, Clocku just about working his way out of connector. He's not really having any impact, and they're completely stalled, Apogee. They can't get into the site. They've got no util to clear it out whatsoever, and Clocku, well, he's going in with his back turned. Fossil gets a freebie, make it a triple, and the round is good and gone. It's Dannis AWP to finalise things, and is it just me, Dean, or does it feel like Team Space are getting right back into this one?
They are. I mean, the Eco now should have to come in as well for Apogee. Maybe a few pistols will be upgraded, so a 9th round most likely. If they win that next gun round, then it's tying up at 11-11, and I think Apogee should be maybe worrying a little bit now even. You can sometimes run into a bit of a brick wall on this T side, especially once the economy starts flowing for the CTs with the utility in play, which definitely is right now. Heavy on the mid control for the CTs, which might backfire actually if Apogee move fast on this A play, because they do have the smokes to cut off the rotations. Some flashes, and Molly as well. Could be risky, the AWP not landing the initial shot. Holding his ground though, very open on the angle. Fortunately with some assistance now from Fossil, as you can see. In case things could put too much trouble. Still comes in just to be a slight hassle, I suppose, but not going to cost them too much. They can't really afford to lose a round either way, so the economy's built up more than enough.
Second tactical timeout coming in from Apogee. I think it's about the right time to call it. It definitely feels like this one can swing either way at the moment. Team Space just fighting for all they're worth to stay alive. I mean, Dannis 19 and 11, really finding some form. Every time he's got the AWP in his hands, you have to say, it feels like he's getting something done. And the last couple of ideas Apogee have had for how they want to play it and how they want to split have just fallen apart. They've been picked off early. Not really allowed to settle into their ideas. And forced to go to plan B and plan C. And when they have had to go there and they have been forced back by Space, it's really fallen apart at the edges. They've just not had that sort of secondary protocol in their back pocket to fall back onto. Not everyone looks confident or comfortable in how that one plays out. So we're going to brawl it again. Down mid we fly. Fossil, yes, he's blind, but the kill goes his way regardless, and then it doesn't. Sprays through the smoke from both sides. It's Brajaliski Lull who come out just about on top. 3-on-2 situation. And this is where, again, we need to see that secondary protocol. This is where it's all about your mid-round call. You've gone for that initial map control. It's traded out nicely for you, and it's X5 and Danist to try and settle the situation down, to try and drag space back into this one. It's a fast flank from X5, and that doesn't look to be expected at the moment, so the timing well and truly on, as Danist is going to try and get that AWP into a position to have impact on short. Default plant goes down. Now Prism is aware of the flank as a possibility, and he has started to turn for it. So X5, he's got a really big shot on his hands here. This clear has to be inch perfect. If it's not, it's game over, and there it is. Kill comes in from Prison, and Danist, well, he's been in this situation a few times, a 1v3, and Apogee just aren't going to give him the peak to work with. Molotov goes in towards default. He's going to smoke himself off and save the AWP, but that is 3 map points the way of Apogee.
Plenty of money again, as we had said. Team Space had built up the money, but 3 in a row just to send it to an overtime now is what they're going to need. CT has been decent so far, so it's definitely doable, but now that Apogee have finally cracked through, if they're struggling to find that round for a while, let's see if they can put an end to it now. If they don't, then their economy might actually come back to bite them, and we could maybe see them struggle to even get another gun round in play. Really, it might come down to just this round, pretty much.
Feels that way. Do or die time for both of these lineups. Do or die times in terms of ECL as well, and it's going to be, again, a little bit of a lean towards mid. Much more reserved this time from Apogee, you have to say. No longer the out-and-out brawl that we saw previously. Instead, just hoping to draw the presence, keep them honest, as X5 is left for the time being solo towards this B bomb site, and that is where they're creeping. Apogee, this is again, they're just playing the timings. Fossil has started to smell a rat though, and he's worked his way towards short nicely, gets the opening kill. Trade not coming through. Woozy does well to get one and does manage to double up. The backside player goes 1-on-1, and it's 3-on-3 in the after plant. Bomb will go down, but look at the position of Prism here. He is still top mid. He's hoping beyond all hope that someone makes the rotation in. The bomb is not planted for him whatsoever, so it is all on these two side players. The Molotov will flush one out. It's all on Polo to hold down for as long as he possibly can. Nice molly to the doors. He forces both players to the window, and now Prism is up short. Now Prism can have some impact, and he's so late, they're never going to expect him. Danis goes down to him. Polo gets one more, and at 13-9, it will be Apogee who take the map pick of space. They take Mirage, Brajaliski, Lol, Apogee, whatever you want to call them. They're getting the job done. And they've got their map pick of Ancient coming up next. I mean, we thought this one was going to be a brawl. We thought it was going to be tight. And it's given us all of that, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few moments where, obviously, we've seen Apogee manage to run away.
It is going to be just that simple. It's going to be who can step up, who can be there with Danis headed into this second map. And for Apogee, can they continue in this vein of form? Can they step it up a level as well? Because, you know, we're talking about players who are only positive on a single kill. There is plenty of room for improvement for both of these rosters as we head back.
Yeah, this should be an interesting match for sure. Straight onto the dual Berettas again with the Kevlar also backing them up. So heavy in that regard. This is one of the maps where those can really cause chaos, especially on this B bomb site, which is where both have been positioned alongside Fossil. Flash in play on both sides, I believe, as the smokes go down. Fossil's going to wait and hope here to give his teammates a good fighting chance as the push comes through, but it's slightly delayed. Danist is actually the one to take the initial point of contact. A little bit confused. I said Asan was number 2.
Oh, here we go. They want to try and take this fight into Asan, and Polo's going to get the better of it. They have completely abandoned the B site, though. And all 3 CT players are long for this retake. I don't think I've ever seen a situation like this. It's absolute carnage, and, well, continuing carnage as trades go back and forth, and X5 is left. We spoke about converting 1v3s to 1v2s, and they've done that now. Got pistol in hand, spots out one, clean headshot, knows the last man's inside of that sight, and lightning fast, he gets his double, and that is exactly what Space needed to get started here on map 2.
Yeah, I got a little bit thrown off because I thought it was 2 and 3, and on the bomb site it was actually 2 and 5. So obviously Dennis took that initial point of contact, got one. The dual Berettas never had a chance to do anything at all, and yeah, it comes down to X5's clutch in the end instead to make it work for Team Space. despite the initial stack that they had on the bomb site. What a weird pistol round the way it played out in the end.
Yeah, I don't really have words to describe that one, but it was what I was asking for from Space, right? Putting them in better positions. And you saw there, Apogee taking a couple of isolated 1v1s, not something we'd really seen them do in the previous map. Just that little bit of extra pressure applied. It opens up opportunities. This one, though, almost immediately the force buy comes out for the T side, looking to have the response as expected when that bomb goes down. Call is to creep into the A main control. It's not a bad shout either. Trunic solo towards Donut for now, and so often the CT sides, they will play solo A to start things off. Allow that mid control to come through. And now Danist, with a nice timing behind the smoke, has rotated into position. Still 2 lying wait towards bottom of mid, though, for Apogee. Virtuoso and Swizz just hoping perhaps for some over-aggression and to bleed out a little more CT utility before they go into this hit.
Yeah, remaining real quiet at the moment, though, so they aren't going to be running down much. Still have, I believe, a nade and a flash over here on this A bomb site currently. I don't think he's going to get a chance to use them, though, with the burst coming straight out at main. 3 Galils up close against this MP9. It will not be easy. The M4 is good for the one, at least initially. Trunic does the same and keeps them in a 3-on-3 at the very least. Those rotations
get that bomb
now
down.
Just coming in as the bomb is not even being planted quite yet, yeah.
Slow to the plant. They want to get it done for Donut. And they will just about be able to make that happen. The problem is Fossil's got a molly and Hassanator has got a smoke, which is pretty much the perfect setup for a retake when it's a heavy Donut play. And X5 just straight through the smoke. Why not? Gets the better of Koloku, and now this gets really rough. Molotov's going to go in. That'll reduce the number of angles available. Smoke goes onto the bomb itself to give Fossil the best possible opportunity, and here comes the stick. Spam through, not connecting at all. They've got no idea where to look for it. Swizz takes out his own teammate in amongst the carnage, and it will be a second round on the board for Space. They survive the force buy, and it's very scrappy again, all over the shop, isolated fights. Space, though, they're winning out. This is what we wanted. X5, 4-on-1. He's starting to find his feet and starting to match Danis on map 1. Another force buy for Apogee, though. That's mad. 2 bomb plants, 2 buys.
Yeah, looking to really keep the pressure on. No one to light up quite yet. I mean, they are making the round difficult at the very least. In any case, with the Lils and the Mac 10, it's not terrible, that nade. Just to give the vision. Not going to be seeing anything, though, on the original HEs as well. Only done a tiny bit of damage. Got 2 players up close on Sniper. The other's moving back over towards A main. It looks like the goal is going to be to move this towards the A bomb site and hopefully cut off the lurkers in on mid. Danis is stuck. He's screwed. No, never mind. I don't know how he gets away with that, but his teammate definitely should have been helping, or at the very least could have been helping. Was in position to do so and at the very least return the trade, but they don't get it. Instead, a man advantage for now sits with Team Space. The damage still just trickling in favor of Team Space. Although they did lose their advantage.
So much map control, although, yeah, going through mid, Polo able to punish a second, and now that B bomb site wide open. The speed of those rotations, it looked like a positive. It's going to turn on its head. Hassanator has managed to get ahead of the molly, and that's maybe a little bit of something for the CT side, but he's going to need to get so much done here. Polo ready for it, swings on wide, hits the headshot, and the MP9 of Trunic not able to put him down either. A huge triple kill from Polo on what should have been a lost round realistically. So much map control, all of the information there for Team Space. Tanists on 3 HP getting the opening kill, but just perhaps a little over-eager in those rotations to try and cut down the play, giving up a couple of kills in towards mid as they look to crunch onto the A site. And from there, Apogee just able to rotate straight out of the situation. I mean, you can see the damage. Everyone is tagged up. Just taking advantage of that over-eagerness from Team Space, perhaps overconfident given how the first couple rounds have gone. Final kill comes in for Virtuoso, takes every rifle away. And this is where the CT economy, well, it starts to feel a little cruel. Team Space win both the opening rounds. They lose once, and almost immediately they are on, well, they're going to force it, but it's an ugly force. MP9s across the board. Fossil, the only one who can't afford one, he'll drop down to the 5-7, whereas you look over at that Apogee buy, I mean, admittedly, they're on 3 salvaged rifles. An AK for Swizz, MAC-10 for Klocku. T-side in the ascendancy here.
Yeah, really put Team Space in a horrible spot right now. Hoping that this force buy will work, and if it doesn't, then we'll see Apogee really taking early control on this D side. Forcing the 5-7 slowly back. This A main aggression likely to be punished as well, as Polo has the angle. Never mind. What? Dennis checked the left angle initially, and I thought was going to get caught by that one, but his MP9 is just on point. The 2-man advantage. Fuzzle tries to take that fight with the 5-7 rather, but he has the backup of the MP9s. That's all that matters. Leaving Prism alone now, as suddenly the game looks to once again flip on its head. Team Space take back control, 3-1.
I no longer have any idea what's going on. Danish should have been dead to rights there. Angle held. Rifle in position. You've got to imagine he's looking at his map or something, because Danish just comes around that corner screaming. We do get the tech pause coming through. Unsurprising, I think. It definitely felt like something was a little off there to me. Danish just mowing up on that MP9. And right when you thought, Apogee, right, they've settled down, they've got their rifles, they're starting to make it work, it falls, flips on its head. They will still be able to buy just about into the next one. Good money on 4 out of 5 players. Klocku going to be the one to take the sacrifice. But yeah, I mean, that is just, it's perplexing, is what it is, how that round went down. The MP9's getting the work done. I mean, there's some, I think, frustrated peaks coming in towards the late round there from Apogee. Certainly the second man swinging out cave. Just feeling the frustration, desperate to try and get a trade, something going. Some of those early kills, I don't even know how to describe them.
Yeah. We're looking at a technical pause, I think, at the moment, unfortunately. Hopefully not too serious.
Fingers crossed.
Looks like we're going to have a force buy coming in anyway. Well, not really, I suppose. There's enough for the 4 players to get the full buy, and then it's only... Klocku, is that what we're going with? Even not to say
I
his
think
name
that's
much.
about right.
Yeah. Only Klocku, I was going to say it would be on a weaker weapon, but Prism actually gives him the AK and takes a Tech 9 in return. And Virtuoso decides to go for a Galil to get the extra utility, and they get a glass cannon up on the Polo. So they could have went pretty safe with the AKs and utility, but they've mixed it up a bit.
Glass cannon, T-side of Ancients, a brave call. You think about the kind of angles you can get into early, and they are so frequently naded. Down the ramp, mid-play if you want to go for it. Where is that AWP going to go? How is he going to try and have impact with it? It's over towards the B-bomb site early. Going to get boosted up and peer in towards long, but it's cave aggression coming through from the CT side, so not to be tested early. Fuzzle does give it a little bit of a shoulder. Spots out, nothing doing, so the Tech 9 charges into the site, trying to bait in his teammates here, but nobody's really gone with him at the moment, and that opens up a free avenue. X5 just charging inside of the site, gets a kill of his own, and suddenly here's Fuzzle swinging wide for the double and leaving Klocku, who donated his AK to the cause. A 1v3 to contend with, and this is a completely different look to Apogee. That team play seems to have been left by the wayside here. A couple of nice ideas, but again, shots not connecting. Individuals firing up for Team Space. And Klocku, no idea where to look next. Flanked out by Trunic, a free round, a 4th on the board for Team Space. The force buy not working again. And this is starting to get a little bit sketchy, you have to say. It's the map pick of Apogee as well, and they are just not quite looking as comfortable as they did on map 1.
No, not at all. We did say the last couple of games for Team Space have been pretty good here on Ancient. I'll double check, but I think it was 13-2 and 13-5. Yeah, exactly, against Favbet and Aurora the Youngblood. So they might be looking to try and keep up the streak of Ancient performances.
Well, this round should be a streak for him. 5-1 feels viable. Only the Tech 9's out for Apogee. Ollie and Nade go towards, and it's the A play again. Again, a fairly common look, so will be expected by Trunic. Danist's in towards the donut. I mean, they've got the smokes to lock Danis out of this one, so it really is on Trunic here. Molly goes down. He'll retreat into the relative safety of donut. Plenty of players there. Spray gets a ton of damage, but no kills. Plenty of low HP bars to play with. Danis smoked off for now. Pop the smoke. Nice play. Swings in. The spray's ugly, but it gets the job done regardless. X5 finds the headshot. Virtuoso goes down, and now 4-on-4. These afterplants are sketchy. Swizz and Clock are trying to pay the bait and switch, but the timings on it are going to be so tough to win out. And there we go. 2 kills go against them. Polo has got a recovered AK, but his teammate Prism is on just 4 HP inside of A main, so he can't let him swing too early. Polo gets 1, but it's mopped up at source. And a couple of kills in a bomb plant. I mean, it's not a bad result for Apogee, but considering it was a 5-on-4 after plant, that A site's so tough to retake as well. They would have been wanting a little bit more.
Only back now on the gun, so this is where we'll get a real idea for what sort of T side we're going to get here from Apogee, but it's now or never that they need to start gathering up some rounds. Look straight towards the sniper's nest, I believe. Maybe
yep.
4. I think they have to throw a second one, perhaps. Either way, they're going to be a little bit late in on that mid play. Some nade damage early on as well as they get this controlling towards the alley over towards B. Danis very aggressive actually in on Donut right now with the up. It's flashed back, unfortunately.
It's a tough angle to hold that. Got to hold essentially 3 positions at once. Pops the smoke. He wants to take that fight. Feeling it all series. Counter nade. Just chipping away at Hasanator, keeping a little bit honest. Now it is that AWP up close and personal, and they can't time it right, Apogee. First Swizz, then Virtuoso. You could see the plan. You could see the trade they wanted. It was choreographed, but they didn't know all the moves. Polo has worked his way into mid, but Fossil and X5 are so ready for this. On the off angle, X5 does well to get 1, but, well, Polo's caught nade in hand. And with the bomb now down, it starts to get really ugly. Prism, well, he's taken the B bomb site, but how relevant is that realistically? They've not got the bomb to work with, and the CT side will shortly realise that, yeah, the flank is going to start coming in. Hasanator turns, ready to receive. Prism is waiting for Clocku to join him, but he's not got enough time to really wait any longer. 25 seconds on the clock. Bomb still to be recovered. If they want to even think about giving this round a go, and Hasanator's having none of it. Clocku to save. 6 on the board for Team Space. So, I mean, is it just me, Dean, or does this map feel like it slipped away already?
Yeah, it's definitely getting into that territory. It's going to be 7th round pretty much unchallenged, most likely from Team Space, and at that point you're fighting to just about salvage the half. Unless it's flawless, of course, from that point forward. 1 AK at least being saved. They could scrape out another few, but they won't really have any utility to back it up. I don't know if this is a buy that they want to go for. A tactical pause right now would probably be a decent show. You gonna do it?
Of course they're not.
No.
Does feel like this is the kind of situation, though, you could really do with just a stabilizing influence. You know, this is your map pick. You had some nice ideas on Mirage. So far, this T-side has fallen incredibly flat. Feels like you need someone to just step in, steady the ship, come out with a couple of theories on how you can improve the situation, because Swizz, that is not how to improve it. Out into a molly, dead before he sees anyone. Clocku has caught half a timing, but the spray is all over the shop. Hasanator, free reign realistically in the techs while they're doing what they can. The Deagle's behind them as well as Virtuoso comes out with a huge double kill. Can't quite triple up. And Hasanator has found a vein of form that he was missing on map 1. Prism doing what he can to trade it down, but immediately the response is there, and this is a completely different looking Team Space. I mean, Hasanator really was the weak link on map 1. He's found a lovely vein of form. Danis still firing, X5 right up there with him. And at the moment, Apogee just don't have a response. They don't have anyone stepping up to that level. Their team player's gone a little bit missing. Rifles are coming out, but they need to start working immediately. Missed mid-smoke.
Yeah. And Molly to stop them from trying to challenge either way. Might have actually saved them from peeking without the smoke down. Fossil, I was going to say, should have this initial kill. It's actually a wallbang from Trunic instead. But but they don't hold up on the aggression at all. So punishment does at least come in, although I don't think Cloku is going to be hanging on to life, although looks like he may
just buying time.
Yeah, they're pushing into A in the meantime. One player back in the temple who can't really do anything about the bomb plant itself, but he may be able to stop them from setting up an after plant.
Timing on this is everything. Nice molly goes in, well read. And with Hasanator on low HP, this round isn't done yet. Resmoke goes in towards 90. Stops the retake for a little while longer. Virtuoso set up on the off angle for the Brokey swing. And it is going to be the AWP starting to work his way into that, but Danis is up to the task, and now this one gets really tough. Swizz stuck inside of the site, needs a big double kill to get anything done here. Prism, he's stuck a little bit. He does well to get one, and now it is on Swizz inside of that site. One and done, and Prism is left 2 HP to work with in the 1v2. Danis doesn't care. Is that bomb too far ticked, or have they played it to perfection? They have. Team Space using every millisecond available to get that retake over the line. 8 on the board. Thank you very much. Let's have the GG, and let's go to map 3, because this one, it's fully cooked.
Yeah. Seems like we're going to even have much of a fight, unfortunately, coming out of Apogee for this one. Vertigo up next is honestly not a great map for either of these teams, so
Let's leave that
decider.
We'll discuss that in a minute, because it's going to need a hell of a lot of discussing.
Literally a minute if the game keeps going at this rate.
Fast B play.
Very quick, yeah.
I mean, why not? You've tried everything else. Nothing's worked. Let's give it a crack. Nice shot. Nice double. Okay, maybe that's what they needed to be doing all this half. Fast-paced B play. 3 kills. Job done. We're speed running this map, and, well, Apogee are looking to make it quick as well. Trunic and X5. I mean, this is painful because you're 8-1 up. You desperately want to give this retake a go, but CT economy as it is and the situation being completely untenable means, yeah, we are going to have to back away from it. We are going to have to concede and look for the save. Apogee get their second on the board, and I do think there's a world here where if they can make this half 8-4, convert the second half CT pistol, clear up to maybe 8-6, 8-7, then this one is still very definitely still on, but it is going to require them to go pretty much flawless from here on out. I think anything less than that and map 2 is done. 4 rifles kept up is a nice place for them to be, saving Polo's AWP as well. But can they have 2 more solid rounds? Because that one's a bit of a gimmick. You try it once, it works out well, the CTs will respond, there will be counter utility to stop the rush this time. So what's plan B? What have you got at the back of the strat book? Because you've tried everything else to maybe just steal yourselves away. A couple more rounds at the death here. Two players headed towards B3 to try and take some mid control with Util. Danis again lies in wait towards Donut. Polo's going to post up. Nice shot. Hasanator goes down in towards the cave, and that's a lovely opening. Something that Apogee haven't had in a while. Polo remains posted up as well, just in case X5 fancies getting a little too keen on that angle. Bomb looping around towards B. Trunic just on the slightest of angles there. Get the information, drop the smoke and bail away. CT Util just bleeding out slowly as the time goes down. Still a full execute in the back pocket of Apogee here. Should they want to use it, they are going to clear their way into cave. And they've got a full execute in the back pocket for the B-bomb site here. They can leave Virtuoso, who will control any rotations, try and catch a timing, but it's only 2 players inside of the site. Fozzle and X5, they've actually conceded the site in its entirety. They want to play retake here. There is a lot of timings on this board now. Prism has got to get up to site swiftly and does so. Fast flank is heard, and the timing is beautiful for Virtuoso. Only able to get the one, though. Trunic, fast on his swivel. Gets at least a trade, but does he want any more? No, he bails away with the AWP on 13 HP, says this is not viable, not possible, we are going to concede. And well, you know how I spoke about an 8-4, Dean? It's starting to feel like it's on the cards.
Yeah, looking quite doable now. You get the 8-4 and win out that second pistol round, and there is still definitely some hope for potential 2-0 for Apogee. Rather than risking it going on towards Vertigo, where again, there's not really a ton to go on. Neither team taking any recent wins there. Saving over all the weapons, at least Team Space will have plenty of money, I believe, get the drops in. Well, Trunic can drop one over anyway. They actually might still be lacking a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly it's going to work out for us. And okay, there we go. They must have already had an M4 on the ground for him.
Yep.
But yeah, 8-3. The fourth round really is a necessity. If Team Space can take it up to 9, then at that point, even if they lose the pistol round, they still have plenty of breathing room.
Pistol rounds being the RNG they are. Apogee will be aware this is a much needed round. Fossil looking to play ahead of the util. Flames licking at his feet, but he will take this cave control. Very spammable. Danists will take the opening duel up against Polo. Gets the better of him. Out towards B long, and now you can see almost immediately textbook AWPing. Cycles the position, looks to change it up, looks to have more impact, and does. Swizz wanted the fight, wanted the headshot, can't find it. And now 3-on-5. This is where we've really seen Apogee start to struggle a little bit, although Clocku's having none of that. 2 quick kills, cave control taken, and Virtuoso playing a mother of all timings. Trunic has managed to take out the donut player, though, and that bomb being stuck towards Scaffold is nightmarish. They know now potentially something is afoot, and X5 is watching for it. Not that it matters when his head's taken clean off. Trunic next up. Inside of the site is playing a lovely timing here, and he's not been heard. Virtuoso's got no idea where to look. This is an absolute freebie, and he's going to play the trigger discipline as well to leave Clocku on 12 HP, the man who dragged us back to the 3-on-3. Danist has got his pistol out, knows that Clocku is an inch from death, and the plant's just a little too open. There it is, 9-3 as we head to the halftime break. Team Space showing a lot of resilience, showing that they've got some fight left in them. 9-3 up on their opposition's map pick. This pistol, well, it may well seal the deal here on map 2 and force us to that decisive Vertigo. Unless Apogee have got a little bit of magic in their CT side to play with. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. Molotov invested into. Heavy buy in the util department for Team Space. And it's all going to head over towards B, which for the time being is relatively stacked. Polo and Clocku playing inside of the site. Prism out towards long. Swizz the nearest rotate in towards mid, and they're going to take the control here. Clocku works his way down the ramp. The flashbangs, but he doesn't clear his corners. He doesn't take the fight. Polo does well. Bails his teammate out of dodge, but now he's stuck inside of the ramp. X5 has to use his molly to try and clear him out, and he'll be able to get into the cave as a result. And well, this is absolute carnage. The B site's taken, but fast into cave is Polo, and this kill could well decide how this round goes. It goes the way of Trunic. Nice timing. And suddenly, Julie's up in the cave feels very, very dangerous. Swizz and Prism trying to work their way into some kind of a retake, but there's so many angles, so little time. Trunic and Danis a kill apiece, and there is the trade. Double digits on the board for Team Space. Could we call this one over yet, Dean?
Yeah, I mean, all but. It'll be a bit of a miracle now if they manage to turn this one around. This round here should be an eco to give one gun round at least to Apogee. But that's all they're going to have, and it'll be lacking in terms of utility. Their kits won't be great. They shouldn't have an op to work with either. It's stacked against them for sure. Heavy on the rifles here as well. Straight up AKs for Team Space, playing for the long run right now. Knowing that they can hopefully just finish it out with the core and a buy that they have right now. Just a couple of upgrades off those weaker weapons.
Yeah, smart call. Plenty of presence ready to receive this rush as well. They've read it nicely. HE's over the top just to chip away. Flashbangs to follow. Everyone wants a piece of the action, and well, everyone's going to get it. 4 kills in as many seconds. Polo hoping maybe to bait someone into the crosshairs, but Team Space, they really have tidied up their act coming out of Mirage, and not going to give anything away in this one. 11 on the board. Not a single kill going against them. Apogee really up against the wall on their map pick, no less. The buy will come in. It will be solid. Rifles across the line. But can that line hold? I mean, we spoke about, maybe needing the individuals of Team Space to come to the party a little bit more. Danis still flying. X5 right up there with him. Trunic the same. Solid enough performances from Fozzle and Hasanator, who we were worried might be the weak link. And that seems to have been enough. Single-digit kills on 4 out of 5 of these CT players. They want the fight, and they are going to get it. X5 drive-by out mid, goes 1 for 1. But the T side won't mind that at all. Look at the control. Look at the space it's given them. 4 players now over towards this B bomb site with just 2 CTs for the time being ready to receive. Polo trying to put his teammate in a position to have impact. He's spotted out and dealt with instead, and these CTs are just slowly but surely being stripped out of this round. Prism doing what he can to try and steady the scales. Has managed to find at least one, and there's a couple of timings in play with Clocku working his way out of this cave smoke. They know it's B, the CT side. They are very confident of that fact. But for how much longer will that remain the case? Trunic is going for a little wander into spawn here.
Ooh. We're at least ready for that mid push. And in a 2-on-2, and well, with the rotation just leaving that B bomb site right now, they may have a free bomb site to walk directly into, as long as they don't take too long. But otherwise, they might end up getting flanked out themselves here.
There is timings everywhere at the moment. Really, neither team's really grasped hold of this round, so it's going to lead to a very odd afterplant situation. Fozzle is aware of the possibility, and so should his door player. Kill will go against him, though, and now it is Fozzle in the 1v2. Swings wide to get the first, doesn't expect the second player up close. It's not going to be flawless for Team Space on the T side. The first time the rifles come out, it goes down to the last man, but Virtuoso does get the job done for Apogee. Problem is, it cost them a lot, so this buy is actually going to be worse than the previous, and for the T side, it's going to be all the better. Danis straight onto that big green to try and have some more impact. 4 AKs to join him. Although Hasanator does just drop down to the Galil to pick up some util. 3 MP9s is the sacrifice for Apogee. Some big questions to be asked. How do they try and get those MP9s in positions to have impact? Do they look to be aggressive with it? Swizz, he wants it straight down mid in the opening seconds. Oh, Trunic.
Just about catching that opening kill. Does take some damage in the process, but he gets the man advantage up for team space early on. And again, leaves Apogee on the back foot. Weaker weapons. They get that 1 AK at least recovered for Swizz. Still 2 MP9s and honestly not much utility to work with either.
You can see Team Space are aware of it as well. Just slowing right down. A little bit of util to make their presence known in towards the B lane, but not committing with anything. Letting the CTs bleed out those smokes, that capability to stall. And sending Trunic on low HP, just have a little prod at A. See if maybe somebody's going to give up on the kill or give an entry and then start to draw the rotations away. But it is going to be this B-bomb site hit. Clocku mollied out, has to start taking this fight. Goes a little too wide on his angle. Hasanator with a freebie. Fozzle's seen the close man as well. And X5 there with him to trade up. Danis picks off Swizz. Job done, boys. Pack it up. We're headed to Vertigo. It's going to be the B site hit. Not that that's relevant to Polo, who's just thinking about holding on to his rifle. Hoping that maybe, just maybe, there's another round in it. Fozzle's going to go hunting. Won't be able to find him. A little unfortunate with the timing on the drop down, but this T side are going to hunt for all they're worth. They know they've got all the rounds in the back pocket to play with. They don't mind losing a few more rifles. They don't mind losing a few more rounds. They know they're going to get the job done. 12 on the board. All rifles taken away. Hasanator, perhaps aptly the man to finish the job. 8 map points the way of Team Space. 8 opportunities to force us to Vertigo.
Almost the certainty at this point of how weak this buy is. It'd be nice for Apogee to maybe take a few rounds and get their feet back on the ground firmly. Otherwise they could have a rocky start to the final map as well, but I don't know how much they can really give us. Okay, Swizz is going to respond with a couple of kills in on mid. Even dinks up Hassan before going down. Fortunately, 3-on-3 with a weapon still slightly favouring Team Space is by no means a one position yet here for Apogee. Clocku's going to keep going aggressive. Yeah, Mike catched him. He spotted the back of one player, but the op is still here. It's Danis, and he is good at clearing these angles, as we know. Always ready.
When it rains, it pours. Looked like he had the perfect timing, the perfect angle, but just waits a little too long on it. Having said that, Polo's not done yet. MP9 finds a nice kill at range onto Danis. Those MP9s have been lethal today, but it is still Prism alone on this B-bomb site, tucked in the cave, hoping for a timing, and oh, there's nearly one again. He's going to get a freebie, and there's a low HP bar waiting on the last man. Not enough health to fight off Prism's 5-7. Once again, Apogee live to fight another day. A 5th round on the board. Rifles recovered. Where is Polo off to? He wants an AWP. And he thinks he knows where he can find one. I mean, at this point, with so many map points on the line, it's more about building confidence for map 3 than anything else. Getting into a little bit of a vein of form, because it's been a really rough map 2 for Apogee, I have to say. So any rounds they can get, any momentum they can take off of Team Space is a bonus. Full buy, of course, coming into the next, so another opportunity maybe to build some confidence, Dean.
Yeah, win out a few gun rounds at least in a row, and who knows, suddenly they could be on track to maybe even bring us towards an overtime. It's a long way down the road, though, so let's see. Win out this round, though, and then it's an eco to start. Mac 10 and a Galil, very little utility after the initial burst that's thrown out from Team Space, so expended a lot here already. I'm not expecting anything crazy, though, from CTs right now. They're split up into a fairly standard hold. Just now rotating the third player back over towards B, and for the moment giving up mid, where they have zero info because they were smoked off right in the beginning.
Polo on the angle, big shot to miss, and it's going to leave Virtuoso, well, between a rock and a hard place. He can only get the one. Swizz can only trade in again. Hasanator finding more impact once again. This one feels like job done. A 1v3 for Prism to try and stitch together. Can he find anything at all? Team Space not giving him the time of day. That bomb has still got to get out. and has managed to transfer its way to the site. That was potentially the one avenue of opportunity Prism had. If he could deny that bomb on transfer, there was something in it for him. Nice shot for the first. Still a smoke. Molotov picked up as well. Timings are going to be everything, though. X5 wants the fight. Molotov goes perhaps a little deep. Counter util from Hasanator. As X5 just stays, tucks himself into Donut, doesn't give his position away, doesn't give any information over to this CT side. He creeps in, but this angle is a nasty one. He does clear it. Last man behind the site. 1v1. Smoke on the bomb. Prism desperate to bait the peak out, and he will do so. Kit in hand, it will be 6. A 1v3 for Prism. And is that ball just starting to roll at the perfect moment for Apogee? The momentum finally starting to swing back their way.
Halfway there. Yeah, I mean, they've put a dent in the scoreline at the very least. The Eco now, with just a few pistols most likely being upgraded, shouldn't be too much trouble, although we aren't really seeing any of these rounds coming smoothly for Apogee. So I wouldn't count those Deagles out from being able to cause some trouble. 5 across the board. Kevlar, no utility. It's just going to have to be straight up headshots.
Headshots or bust. We've seen that before.
Much more aggressive stance from Apogee as well. Want to start, I guess, pushing a little bit and trying to take some of that confidence away from Team Space while they can, condition them before getting into that next gun round where they might want to follow up with some similar plays. Or at least have it in the mind of Team Space that they might be.
Yeah.
Even if just utility is thrown down. Because we'd seen Team Space kind of just bypassing a lot of the early smokes and such that were even being put down on mid. They were like, yeah, whatever, we'll run through this. Sometimes there's not a lot that you can do about it then on the CT side. Initial kill finally coming through for the CTs, and well, it seems like they're just slowly picking away at these Deagles. 1 or 2 kills will be the hope for Team Space, but it's looking pretty much impossible now. Fossils alone.
Yep. Nicely managed round from the CT side, as you said, putting some ideas in Space's head. Also not giving anything away at all at the moment. Fossil will try and change that. See if maybe somebody gets a little too keen. And well, Prism is swinging wide on that fight, but he's going to get the better of it regardless. 7th round on the board. 5 to go now for Apogee. CT side is their preferred side on Ancient, but they've left themselves a hell of a mountain to climb. Rifles are out again for Team Space. Trunic will drop down to the Galil to get util. X5 the Mac 10 to do the same, but otherwise a very strong buy. No AWP for Polo. He has been struggling with it here on map 2, so he'll stick with the M4A1. Full bank of those rifles for the CTs. What is the idea? How do we stop the T side once again? Molotov deep and shallow into mid. Trying to force the fight is Virtuoso, and they want to go up with it here. Timing is ugly. Flash is so nasty. Trunic doing what he can. X5 is there as well, and this one is gone. 2 kills in the opening seconds, and while the CT side continuing to try and aggress this situation and drag it back. X5 is aware of the possibility, doesn't turn quickly enough, but his teammates have got him. Hasanator trades onto Polo, and with Swizz on 13 HP, this becomes all about Prism. A 1v3 in the previous round, this time 4 up. But he does have a low HP teammate. Question is, how long can he afford to stick around at B? You can see Space slowing up, no information, forcing Prism to consider the possibility they're going somewhere else on this map and forcing Swizz to go with him.
Sticking together, considering the health is a decent idea. It just means that if they don't choose the right bomb site, then there is zero hope, and that's exactly how it's playing out right now. They managed to get back in position before the bomb goes down, but still don't know what they can do about this. Swizz is going to charge through the smoke, or I'll try and creep through it. Flashes go over. He hopes to catch someone unawares, but unfortunately that doesn't work out, and his dead now with Prism all alone. Took 1 kill, but in the process took a ton of damage as well, so he's got 3 to go, and going to have to be flawless insta headshots across the board.
Feeling pretty improbable. Clock already halfway gone, as you said. Danists well placed to deal with him, and there it is. 13-7. Space take their opposition's map pick, and we are going the distance. We are going to require Vertigo to split the difference between these two lineups, and honestly, that one just felt like Apogee got into it too slowly. It really was as simple as that. When they found a little bit of form on the CT side, they looked solid, but their T side was a mess, if we're perfectly honest. The new format, 2 losses and you are done, and 2 losses where you don't want to be down there after 1 match. That is a horrible, horrible place to be. And for one of these rosters, it is where they're going to end up. Vertigo will be our final battleground of the evening, and what a battle it has been. Both of these teams showing us just what they're made of. Neither able to really establish control of the situation. Let's see who can establish the better of Vertigo. CT side start for the boys on Apogee. Full util in the back pockets of Team Space heading into this T-side pistol. 2 smokes, molly, 2 flashbangs. That is a full B execute if they want it. The problem is Clocku, who likely won't be cleared out by this initial util and is just tucked behind the wood. A pair of Julies in hand. He'll see these smokes fly over the top. He'll call the information. The rotate will come in and the timing will be perfect for Clocku. There's the early opening, and you can see the trepidation in the minds of these T-side players. The Molotov comes in, but the Julies have escaped harm's reach, and now they are in the perfect position to continue having impact. X5's Molly deals with Fossil, and this one has fallen by the wayside. A fast-paced call to change up the game, but it's a 3-on-5 early on for Team Space.
And you've got Polo already pushed down the ramp over towards A as well, so they have that early info. Polo gets a kill, drops the smoke and falls back to just keep extending this advantage. Even Team Space and pretty much an impossible 2-on-5, I would imagine, at this point. Only 40 seconds. If they can get onto the site and get the bomb planted, that would be at least that extra money to work with. Polo really shouldn't continue facing too heavily. I'm sure they have the massive advantage, but it's not necessary. Keep taking an angle at a time, just waste down what is already a very low clock timer, of course. Swizz shuts it down, and X5 is all alone. A real good Ban Ancient, but unfortunately doesn't even get a chance to do anything here and now. Shut down. A flawless pistol round in the end from Apogee. Exactly how they needed to start off Vertigo here.
It's a really nice pistol, but you have to say it's a bit of a gimmick. You know, it's not necessarily that they've completely outplayed Team Space there. Clocku's put himself in a good spot, hasn't been cleared for 1. And from there, they really have just relied on the firepower advantage, the man advantage. They've double swung the angles nicely. A couple of missed shots from Team Space. The job is done. The perk for Apogee is that there was no bomb plant for this T side of Team Space. So there won't be what we've had pretty much every pistol round of the first 2 maps, which is that immediate force buy to pile the pressure back on. Instead, it is fully Glocks out for Team Space. Heavy A ramp control already taken by the CT side of Apogee as well. So really just funneling these Glocks into the angles they want them to take. Mid control will be the counter, but you can see almost immediately the CT side, they know they've got full A ramp control. They know exactly where this hit is likely to come through. They'll rotate the rifles into a position. Spray will come through. There's a nice dink in there from the Glocks, but realistically, you shouldn't be losing too much, although Fossil will strip away at least one of those M4s early. Clocku with the jumping Julies will make sure it's not more than that. And with an MP9 upgrading to an M4, no real harm for Apogee.
The first gun round now, where we get a real feel for how this one might play out. Overall decent weaponry as well, kept forward by Apogee other than the FAMAS and the MP9, but it's Vertigo. There's plenty of close positions to make those weaker weapons work on. Might see them take a more aggressive stance, it looks like. 3 M4s all prioritized on towards the A ramp. Not putting the deep ramp smoke though. Unless they failed it when they tried to put it in.
Looks like T-side smoke, maybe to give them an angle to play off of.
Yeah, to have this player aggressive on the scaffolding so that they can peek together, I suppose.
Counter util coming out from the T side now as Space looking to make their presence known down that A ramp. Prism wants the fight. Pop flash comes in, spots out the head of one. This is a tough old angle to get the better of. A lot of damage, no kill. Space really just waiting out the CT util at the moment. Bleeding those smokes out. Sat passive in the A ramp. 4 players here ready and waiting for this exact swing. There it is. Information gathered for Swizz. He drops his own defensive smoke and, well, it's just a reset called by Team Space. grouping up on that A ramp. All 5 players now. It's a very one-dimensional hit, but there's still not a lot of presence here for the CT side. You can see Polo just starting to think about cheating over. Pot flash to give his teammates a bit of an angle. Prism stuck at the sandbags at this point, but Swizz there to bail his man out. A big double kill comes through. Another pot flash. The util is there. Prism just making a nuisance of himself by staying alive is the truth of it. 25 seconds on the clock. The Molotov at his feet, but Clocku's FAMAS continues to have impact. And, well, Prism gets one before he goes down. Hassanator doing all he can. It is a 1v2 as he finds the headshot onto Polo. And that might open up some opportunity, if not for the fact that Virtuoso has flanked Round, finds himself the kill, finds the 3-0 start. And, well, you couldn't write it. This is a completely different team Apogee team.
Yeah, they kind of went missing for a map. We did, of course, see them back on Mirage. Pistols at most here again for Team Space. It is Vertigo, so we might see something quick. Maybe up the ramp or just straight over towards B. No, maybe a bit more presence on mid. Into a late B split. That looks like it's probably going to be the goal. Tech 9s, I mean, they can certainly get some real damage done. Not going to count them out, but Apogee should be aiming for a smooth 4-0 here. The goal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough map for these kind of Tech 9 buys. So many long-range angles to play with. It feels weird saying that on such a vertically inclined map like Vertigo, but realistically, this is the closest angle you're going to get on B. If you go up those stairs, it is a shooting gallery, and even that angle, it's a tough one. Makes a very hard job of clearance. There's Virtuoso combining lovely with Clocku. 3 quick kills, and the Techs never really get close enough to barrel stuff the CT side in the way you'd hope to, where you're just praying for that spam to connect something. It's Danist to try and get something done, looking for the off-angle boost, but on low HP, Clocku more than alive to the possibility. And Trunic at this point, just looking for any damage he can find on the exit. Spotted out, does very well to find one. The adjustment to the headshot's nasty, but it is only one. Quickly traded down. And Apogee, they buy themselves the 4-0 start. Rifles come out again for Space, and it's not panic stations yet, but you'd like to see them maybe consider taking a timeout and just look for the mental reset.
Take a breather before it's too late, I think it'd be the way to go. They're just straight into the gun round. No op available, but on the D side of Vertigo, I don't think it's really a necessity either, so they're happy with the rifles for now. It's a slow enough default that seems to be played out. Again, and allowing the CTs to use that utility over towards the ramp if they, as they have pretty much every round so far. Oh. X5 eating a nade, unfortunately. Flash could have allowed it.
Nice ideas there. Space went for the nade stack back towards 90. Perhaps punished more than you'd expect. The Molotov comes in as well as Polo gets the freebie in towards mid. And this is the problem for Space. They've got some ideas on how they want to play it. But at the moment, they're just being picked off here, there, and everywhere. Need to group up, and it is going to be down towards this B site again. CT smoke goes a little too deep. Gives a bit of an angle over to these rifles. Clocku up close and personal. This boost comes in, is going to have a hell of a job to do. And here it is. The timing's ugly. He swings left right when the boost looks to come through. Virtuoso does well, gets one, but half blinded, walks into a Molotov, goes down, and leaves it 3-on-3. That AWP of Polo's now got 2 angles to hold at once, and he knows it. Opts for the close, can't hit the flick. 1-for-1 trade from Swizz keeps it viable. Polo now a little bit stuck behind Jenny. Just trying to stay alive, just trying to buy time, but he's being hunted down, and he will be found by Fozzle. The backstab read and found out. Finally, Team Space are on the board with the rifles.
Yeah, so they've definitely got some life in them here. The economy actually had been relatively weakened throughout those initial few rounds. So there is 1 player left on an MP9. Not a lot of utility to back up the op anyway. Everywhere else it's okay. They've only got the 1 kit though, which could also come back to bite them. So yeah, decent chance for Team Space if they take this round to force the eco, have a chance at bringing things up towards 3 rounds already, and with that already begin to establish a decent T side. Polo's going very aggressive with that op in on it. He is backed up though, and Trunic had made his way up the ladder already. get shut down. And I don't know if the Ops going to have a chance. Yeah, you can see already they've fallen back happy with the man advantage. They do not give Danists any chance to return it.
That's a really nice play. We spoke about it quite a lot on map 1, the idea of just conditioning the T side to sort of situations and setups, and that's exactly what they do there. Team Space will now have to be aware of the possibility of that mid-aggression time and again. Missed shot from Polo. Wants to go back in for more. Little does he know, Danist is posted up, waiting on this exact angle. If Polo gets a little too keen here, he will go down. It's a game of cat and mouse. See both the angles. Util goes in towards A. Just to try and flush out a little bit more of the CT control. But with 45 seconds left on the clock, it does look like the T side want to double back over towards B. And Clocku and Virtuoso, they've got a decent amount of util. A little shy on the firepower. But there's mollies available for Team Space. And that makes this 90 position of Clocku's very tough to contend with. Util comes over the top. You can see they're aware of the possibility. That molly goes a little too shallow. There's the deeper one. And now that MP9 with the flames licking at his fleet. Got nothing it can do. Virtuoso goes 1 for 1, but the MP9's position is known here. It's just a matter of time before they clear him out. Polo's trying to bail his teammate out of the dodge, but he can't find the shot. And now that MP9 goes down inside of the smoke. Prism doing what he can with 6 seconds left. Tries to deny, but he can't quite find it. Fast flank is good. Swizz gets 1. And now it is on Prism, on that backstab, in the 1v1. X5 low on HP. So many timings. He's going to go for the jump up, fakes it, drops down, jumps up again, looks for it, spots the head, but can't land the shot. It goes down to the last man. It's chaotic on that B bomb site, but Prism will bail his teammates out of dodge. A lovely little double kill. And Apogee have their 5th.
Just about edging their way past that round, and fortunately for Team Space, taking the round that really could have given them a chance to start organizing their T side into something here. Instead, they're again scraping together their own buy. Sure, the CT buy is still incredibly weak, and they have a chance to swing back, but down 5-1 already here on the final map of the series. It's not a good spot to be in. Decent spawn for Danis. He's going to try and bring this up straight towards ramp. Do see the initial kill actually back towards B, I believe that was.
Yep. Okay, Fozzle. Nice wallbanger. This B-bomb site under siege. Now they accelerate rapidly. Clocku full blind, doing everything he can, but it's one and done. Teammates have managed to scramble a rotation in nicely, but again, the trades are well placed, and Danis is just picking them off as they come in. Prism, he's been here before, 1v3. Low HP bar on Hasanator close by, but he can't quite find the spray on the first man. Needed that kill, won't come by. Danis again with a lot of impact on that AWP. A fast-paced swarm of the B bomb site gets Team Space their 2nd, and it breaks the bank of the boys on Apogee. 1900 loss bonus. Some tough decisions to make now financially. Just about quick math will be able to buy in the next if they want it, but it'll be an ugly buy, and they want to try now. Full forces out, 5-7s for 4. Clocku on the deagle. Can they sow the seeds of chaos? They've got a lot of utility to try and do so. But you can see Team Space just playing it smart, taking long-range angles in the opening seconds. Here comes the swarm down the ramp. They try and charge. Woozy able to get at least 1, but the trades are good for the T side. A couple of quick kills. The MP9, not Mac 10. Able to get a little bit of damage done, but it does leave Clocku in a 1v3. The trades are good from the T side. Clocku, well, he's had a tough series so far. Not been at the top of the scoreboard. Not been lighting it up for Apogee. Wants to fade this T-side smoke. Catch a bit of a timing perhaps, but his first shot won't connect, and Trunic's 2nd will. 3rd round on the board for Team Space. The force by a couple of kills. Not really enough to gain from it. Full eco to follow, and this one's looking to tie up again.
On track to make it happen anyway. Comes down to the next gun round, but for now anyway, there shouldn't be much of a fight for Apogee. No pistols even really to be upgraded to. Just gonna stack over towards the B-bomb site where there's been contact pretty much every round so far around the bottom of the steps. Deep smoke. I guess hoping someone's going to try and creep around that, but no real reason to. Instead, Team Space have already pushed out on mid. Where are they going to commit this to is the question. Trunic should spot one player in on B, and noting that he had a flash in his hand should give away the fact that it was the stack, but he sticks around. And, well, there's an AK there that should be recovered in a moment, and yeah, Apollo's already picked it up for himself. They can send the 2 pistols out to try and hunt a little bit more, maybe, but winning the actual round shouldn't be too much trouble for Team Space.
Yeah, the job's done. X5's cleared out the entire A site with that MAC-10, and now he'll go looking. See if maybe he can strip away that recovered rifle. See if maybe he can get a few kills on these pistols. Danist helps himself to 1. And at this point, yeah, X5 knows what he's about. Util to try and chip away. Trap these remaining players in. And they'll want to hunt this one as well. Economy's not amazing, but X5 on the MAC-10 is sacrificable. If he can take that AK away from Polo, it'd be a fantastic win. Just those micro moments that really do feel like they swing series like this, where they're so back and forth. Danist has got them absolutely trapped into spawn here. Question of how hard X5 really wants to hunt it. Doesn't seem too keen. In fact, if anything, Danist seems more interested in going for it. He spots out Polo. Information gathered and passed over to his teammates. X5, though, is just a little too slow on this hunt, I think. Can charge in these last seconds, but Polo will be able to hold on to the rifle. Swizz does well to deal with Hassanator with just a USB as well. So not a bad end game from the CT side, considering how little they brought into it. Big question is, can they find the response now? After that initial spree of rounds, they've gone very quiet up against the rifles of Team Space. Will this full buy be enough to drag them back? Polo, of course, on the recovered AK. Everybody else has got M4s. Danist on that AWP. How much of a nuisance can he be on Team Space's side of things? Oh, Fossil again.
Somehow escapes as well, despite being completely blinded. Virtuoso wasn't able to get in place in time for the trade, and I believe the molly was stopping him from being able to take cover as well. Either way, the man advantage for Team Space early on to work with. They've got a ton of time to sit on this and wait and see what sort of response Apogee are going to throw at them. And well, for the moment, nothing too concrete, it doesn't look like. If one player attempted to peek around that A ramp, but he's alone, so it probably wouldn't be a great idea.
That's 2 rifle rounds on the trot, where Fossil has got the opening pick over towards that B-bomb site. Huge amount of impact. X5's just caught a timing. Up Scaff. Into Tarp. Polo does well. Adjusts to the situation. Finds himself at least a kill, but the rest of the team are over towards B. And for now, it remains completely unoccupied. Not for too much longer. Polo is fast on his rotation. And in fact, he's bringing the whole gang with him. So it's going to be a game of timings here. All 4 CTs. With a little bit of util, are going to try and work their way in towards this B-bomb site. Dodging the flashes is Polo. Up close and personal. Swizz comes in with a big double kill. And Trunic is in a lot of trouble now. Just too many bodies, too much firepower in one place. And somehow, this mob mentality from Apogee is going to buy them around here. Danist, with no time left on the clock, is just going to try and save this AK. A nice bank behind him. Save this AK, save this AWP. I'm getting tired. Nice bank behind him. He'll be able to drop over a couple and get the buy going into the next. But that's a very unconventional CT side from Apogee, I think is the polite way to say it. Heavy-handed over towards A. Then all 4 of them just retake into B before the hits really come in from space and deny them at entry.
Six, 4. A lot closer than I was expecting, considering we had the initial 5-1, I believe, for Apogee. If Space can even just grind it out up to 5 here on the T side, that's a comfortable enough position to be in. I think for Apogee, the goal is to take these final 2 rounds, try and give themselves a bit of breathing room. Looks like we're facing another technical issue, I believe. Hopefully just a small one.
Fingers crossed. X5 yet to buy, so you'd imagine there's something in his department.
Most likely, yeah. Not going to have great money for the buy either way.
Yeah.
Might get a drop of an AK there from Fossil.
That's not a bad shout, to be fair. Get a full rifle complement. It's been very back and forth again. Pretty much summarizes the entire series, start to finish. I mean, at one point, Apogee were 5-1 up. Team Space fighting tooth and nail to get back into it on the T side. Just losing their way a little bit in the last couple of rounds. It's been very unconventional from Apogee, but it's got the job done. Question is, what's the response? I does come through. The technical pause is over, and well, X5 does get his dropped AK-47. Where does he look to take it? As it looks like the CT side, with their initial abandonment of mid, want to take some A-main control. Looking to peek down the ramp, and well, Team Space may have called the ultimate counterplay here.
On the mid control here while just keeping that player who's usually peeking aggressively on B in position using the molly. Will allow for the wrap around, and well, with that initial kill now from Fozzle, they likely will try and move relatively quick on this. But there's still two players on B, and with another kill they're picking off a player in on mid now. They might rush in, not expecting this presence.
Yeah, it's still going to be a tough one for the CT side to hold down. The flashes are good. Polo spotted out back sight. It's an ugly spray and he can't quite land it. They know where Clocku likes to play. Do they clear him is the question. And oh, the timing is ugly. Thought he had it. Hit onto it a little too quickly. Couldn't quite rein the spray in. Then went for denying the plant. Couldn't quite land that either. So 2 kills becomes none. Swizz looks to save. With just 1 round left in the half, Team Space will hunt this down. Again, just back and forth. Foz is just consistently finding entries at this point. That's the 3rd rifle round. He's made it happen. Trunic denies the saved AK. And this last buy is going to be a bit of a tapestry. Pieces of a puzzle to put together, but it's not looking good for the boys on Apogee. MP9 in the hands of Clocku. Prism with a 5.7. Handful of rifles around the edges. Compared to, well, the perfect buy, you have to say, for Team Space. Full util. Upgraded pistols. AK's on 4. Danist has his favoured AWP. He's going to take it towards the A ramp early.
This is not a great buy either. They don't have the utility that they need with so much time still on the clock. You can see Team Space are just throwing out a bit of utility themselves and running it down. They've already got ramp control, and well, they have someone set up to go ahead and punish that B aggression. There is a second player ready to follow up though. Polo gives his position away, unfortunately, and isn't able to really get anything done. He's not immediately. Might have his chance now. Okay, Trunic forgetting how quick he can rotate in through that door. That's going to force the issue now over at A.
Yeah, pistols up close and personal. This is still doable, although a nice clearance makes it very hard. And Fozzle, with a quick kill, takes away 1 more of the rifles. Swizz tries to swing in to have impact, but X5 is so ready for it. And Polo, well, he got 1. Needs a perfect ace to keep his team in the ascendancy on the CT side of Vertigo. There's the first. Half the plant position's already well established. Turns this into a very difficult affair, though. Does have a smoke for the bomb. With the player still inside of the site, that's going to be essentially irrelevant unless he can clear his man out, and it's not to be. 6-all at the half-time, all honours even. As close as it can be, headed into the final half, potentially, of this best of three. Team Space fighting and scrapping on their T side to stay in it here on Vertigo. They've bought themselves a golden opportunity. This is where we've seen Apogee start to struggle a little bit. Their T side on Ancient was woeful. Will their T side on Vertigo be anything better? Handful of utility and an early pick found almost instantly. Trunic goes down on this B bomb site, and Hasanator is left between a rock and a hard place, just trying to stay alive, trying to buy precious seconds. Gets at least one. X5 able to chime in from on high. It's not actually Hasanator that gets the kill, but the site is lost. And a 3-on-4 retake is the target. No kits on the board at the moment. And a man up close is the first problem to clear. A lovely angle, a tough one to clear. Klokku baiting him in perfectly. X5 does very well to find one on the trade, but almost immediately the counter is there from Prism. And for Danists, this one is a done deal. He's being hunted down as well. They don't want to let him survive here. Opens the toilet door to bait the idea. It's an ugly old fight, but he does get the better of Polo. It's still going to be a 7th round on the board for Apogee.
Getting the early lead here on the T side, which is what they want. And it should keep his Kevlar at the very least, which is something. Likely to go for the fourth buy, maybe.
Yeah, I'm never too sure about that save. I'm sure I've seen somewhere, might have been Vu, who said it's just mathematically the worst play.
To carry the Kevlar forward?
To carry just the Kevlar forward, yeah. Someone will have to do the math for me. I'm too tired for it, but well, it does leave them in a really weird situation here. I mean, Danis, yeah, he's gone for a deagle, but everyone else is full ecoing. 2 Mac-10s up for Polo and Swizz to try and farm some of these unarmored CT players. And I like this idea at least. Give Danis a little bit of a boost. See if he can be cheeky with his armor and deagle. He's going to need something a little bit special because this buy for him is very disjointed from the rest of the lineup. They'll look to swarm the ramp if he gets something done here. Swizz is going for a wonder, spotted out. Rest of the team, however, are over towards that B bomb site. So as soon as Swizz sniffs out that this is a stack, they should be charging into B. The information should be gathered and the job should be done. There's the boost. Nice idea from Danis, and here comes the charge. B bomb site, util over the top, should be free for the taking, and is. Question is, how much more can these pistols get done on exit? X5 has managed to upgrade himself onto that Mac-10, but it's not really a weapon you want to be holding on to long term. Expect maybe for them to try something a little cheeky with it. Looks like they're going to assemble another boost in towards middle. In fact, this time the triple boost to try and give the angle over. X5 on the Mac-10, the man trusted with it, but Klokku is wise to their tricks. Polo, meanwhile, is starting to farm up on that Mac 10 of his own, finds Fozzel deep in towards spawn. And for these remaining players, it is just about seeing if maybe you can find some exit kills. I mean, Danist, if he can save the armor, would be in a really solid spot. Would argue maybe Hasanator and Trunic could do with trying to find some more exits, as Polo is doing exactly that. He's going to try and strip away a little bit more. There's a nice kill. Hasanator next up, and the Deagle behind him will bail him out of dodge. So a Mac 10 and an armored Deagle safe to the next, as Apogee find their 8th.
Yeah, pretty much as expected there, though. There wasn't much to fight with, so this gun round is where we need to get a feel for if Team Space are going to be able to fight their way back into this now on the second half. Not terrible, but there is an MP9, just so that they could actually get a kit to work with there.
Not the greatest of buys, not bad, not great. It's kind of just middling.
Yeah.
Danis not having that orb as well feels tough.
Yeah, he hasn't had it much in general. A lot of rounds he was stuck on the AK on the T side, which, I mean, fair enough. You probably would prefer the rifle, but now that they're on the CT side, it'd be nice to get it in play. Early utility just keeping the Ts back from ramp. They were heavy on the presence here. 4 players early on towards the bottom of ramp, so they've given up a lot of control elsewhere, I believe. Virtuoso's just holding for the mid push.
Now, off the back of that initial util, a very passive hold from the CT side, pretty much everywhere. 2 players towards B, forward of their angles, but X5 and Fozzel nestled towards backside A. 50 seconds left on the clock. Still plenty of util available for the CT side and the T side, to be fair. Handful of stalling utility. Hasanator and Trunic, unfortunately, have the majority of it over towards the B bomb site, which does look like the wrong call here. And Polo's doing a fantastic job of baiting it out. Baits the rotation as well. 3rd player comes to join. As now the rest of his team start to work their way up that ramp. Here comes the util, and here comes the hit. Fozzel gets one, but not enough bullets to do any more than that. And Koku, well, he gets the trade and immediately doubles up onto X5. And that, well, may well be the round. Koku looks to get the bomb down. But with limited util and limited firepower, the aggression coming in will actually betray the first. Danis is able to grab that kill, and with Koku now on 15 HP, that's really going to pull them into giving this one a go. The AK spray from the man backside is ugly. Polo can't quite rein it in, and this is oh so tempting for the CT side, but it tempts them right into Swizz, and now everyone is low, and that Mac 10 smells blood in the water. Hassan and Aiden will be the first to fall down, and Danis is just desperate to hold on to that M4A1, does well to deal with Koku. But he's still being hunted. He's still being charged down. Does very well to find the second on the headshot angle. HG's going to come in from Polo, but Danis just not quite far enough away to catch it. 9 on the board for Apogee. Danis lives to fight another day, but the rest of his team are running out of rounds to do so.
Yeah, and, well, they're not going to have a chance to do it right now either. 1 M4 carried forward and maybe some pistols and body armor, but I wouldn't expect much more than that, although it looks like they might just force it considering the Nists has dropped his M4 and bought up a new one. This is all in, though. If this force buy doesn't work, then they're basically screwed. They'll be forced to give up an 11th round. Kept a little bit of money on 2 players. I mean, they had full loss bonus. All they needed to do was keep at least like 700 or so, and they could have just about scraped out rifles in the next, preferably more. Although an opening kill in their favor might shut me up real quick.
Looking to do just that. Trunic sets himself up close. They want this B hit on the T side of things. Just 1 poking around anywhere else on the map. Everyone's waiting to see if there's aggression coming through. Trunic wants it, and he gets it. Still finds the kill before the trade comes in. Virtuoso just a split second too slow on the trigger, so the man advantage still there for the CT side. All 3 players for Apogee still desperate to get a pick on this corner of the map, and Polo will find it. Levels things out 3 apiece. Question is, what do they want to do with it? The CTs are starting to stack up. Fozzel is still here, Deagle in hand. Smoke goes down to buy him a little bit of space. On the T side, they are going to go for it. X5 tucks in generators around Fozzle. That's a missed smoke from the T side, but a second one bails them out of dodge for half a second. Reload comes in from Polo. Swizz close. There's players all over the shop here, and they've heard the tags coming through. X5 gets one over the top of the smoke, but Swizz is wise, alive to the threat. And it leaves Danist creeping the smoke. He gets the planter, but bomb is down. It's all on Swizz. Third kill of the round if he can find it, but Danist has looked hot to trot. The dink is not enough. AK, the superior rifle in the moment, and with 14 HP, Swizz saves his team's blushes, gets past the force buy of Team Space, and surely sets his team on the path to victory. Double digits.
Yeah, I mean, the dodgy force buy didn't work out. They can, again, scrape together an okay buy, but no kit to work with. Utility could be better. There's no op, which again is something that they've been lacking on the CT side. So really, it's Team Space just kind of limiting each of their own buys and never getting that full opportunity. No matter how close they might be getting in the rounds themselves. This one, though, it could still give them a chance to break the economy of the T side.
I think Apogee ram boost a man round the corner. I caught it on the minimap. Shame we didn't get to see it. It was fun. Just trying to take an early fight over towards that B bomb site. A couple of tags exchanged, nothing significant. CT's scrambling. As you said, that limited util really starting to show now. After the opening round of delays, only 3 smokes make that 2 remain for the CT side. And Apogee will be aware of that as well, as they slowly work their way up this A ramp control, leaving Polo just to hold on to B. Still relatively fragmented on the T side. Yet to see too much cohesiveness in this. And now they do look to join up. Now 3 in towards middle, and it's going to be Danist tested up first. He's always been good for a kill. He's really been the shining light of Team Space in this best of 3. For now, flashbang in hand. Game of timings, the draw from A, and there it is, timed to perfection from Swizz. He draws the crosshair right as they look to charge. The kill goes down, though, so they do have to speed things up towards B, and that means Trunic gets a freebie. Polo goes down, another 3v5 for this T side to try and contend with, and a fast-paced retake already coming in. Clocku gets one before they get the bomb down. And maybe that buys half a chance here. HE goes up, though, and Virtuoso is stuck. Nowhere to look, nowhere to hide. He's doing everything he can. Flicks back and forth, but he can't quite find the finale. Trunic with pistol in hand will find the 7th. Virtuoso 180 after 180 to stitch that one together, but just missing that final bullet to finish the job.
Yeah, I mean, nearly made that work, caught in between the 2 different angles somehow, but the end Team Space just about edging it out. Not making it easy for themselves, though. That's one thing that we do need to stress. Even with the bomb plant, though, the money's not quite there for Apogee, so I was going to say the 1 eco, I think, is what they need to go with. They've got a hero rifle. Actually, have decided to buy up in the end. I guess to keep the pressure on, knowing only 1 player lived on the CT side. There is 2 MP9s. Yeah. It's risky, though. If this one doesn't pay off, then Team Space do have a chance to get themselves right back into this game. But if they win this, then it's basically done. High risk, high reward.
We love a bit of jeopardy. Swizz trying to play the smoke fade. A couple of players working in towards mid simultaneously. Polo boosted up to try and get the angle onto Scaff. Peeking in. Again, a fragmented start for this T side. Just spreading out. Looking to deploy their resources equally and see if maybe it gets them a pick somewhere. For now, Polo untested, and it's a question of how much longer can you realistically afford to leave that AWP posted before he's got to go and try and find some impact rather than waiting for it to come to him. Looks like they want the B split again. 3 players working their way down into the ramp. Trunic to be tested. A game of timings for that rifle. They're going to boost a man up. It'll be Clocku who goes up with the Galil in hand. Hasanator, there's been some kind of a call, a Q. He'll work his way over towards the B bomb site, and it looks like Fozzle wants to do the same. Clocku can't quite find the kill on Trunic, but now he's up. And the timings start to come through. Fast-paced rotations. Everyone is working their way into mid. How much can Polo find here? He's trying to deny rotations, but instead they're just weaving around him. And with 4 players close to this B bomb site with 23 seconds left on the clock, I don't know how this T side ever planned to get into it. The bombers actually doubled back and they've changed their mind entirely. Instead, they will charge to A. Polo will try and cut the rotations, but his timing is ugly. Fozzle and Trunic deny the plant, and that is the round gone. Surely, there's nothing more they can do. Danis and X5 find the kills. It's game over. Apogee, just guilty of their own indecision there. Changed their mind last minute, allowed Team Space to rotate into B, and when they went back to A, the CT side were ready and waiting.
Yeah, as I said, high risk, high reward, and now that it doesn't pay off, you can see Apogee's economy is ruined. They'll be forced onto the eco. Other than having, of course, an op to work with. And, well, it should be a 9th round. Pretty straightforward for Team Space. Let's see what Polo has to say about it. He really does have the only firepower they're working with. Trunic did spot, I believe, the op.
Certainly saw something, but whether he was too blind to comprehend it is another question. The Eagle goes up. They're trying to use the AWP almost just a bait for these close-range pistols. And here we go, charging into the site. Clocku gets 1, but the M4 of Trunic was well placed. Polo does well to find at least 1 in response, but he misses his shot, misses the second bite at it as well. Taken down. That should be an AWP recovered unless it's fallen off the map. And indeed, Danis will finally get his big green in hand. And what a moment to get it. 1 round the difference between Team Space and Apogee. The buy will come through, but sacrifices to be made on the T side. Did we expect this to do anything other than go down to the wire? I don't think so.
A bit of a change in pace, maybe. Looks like.
Yeah, feels like they need to try something a bit different.
Not exactly being quiet about it, spamming the Glock on the way over. That nade could do some serious damage. It's maybe a bit too late though, unfortunately, as X5 now gets caught in the open. And well, with that, a second entry even. Coming through for Swizz. Danis is caught. I was surprised they even expected that 3rd player there, but I believe he had already shown himself, so they were more than prepared. And well, despite some real opportunities being snatched up over these past few rounds from Team Space to get themselves back to this scoreline, losing this round might be the nail in their coffin. Saving these 2 weapons is a necessity. Then they can maybe just about scrape out the buy, but even then the economy will be on edge.
Nervous moments. You said it. Change of pace for Apogee. They obliged. Fast pace up the A ramp, and you could see Team Space just not expecting it. Nades in hand as they rounded the corner. 11 on the board for Apogee. Looking to keep their upper bracket run alive. And of course, with all 5 rifles kept up, that's a fantastic bonus for the T-side economy. Pretty much be buying to the end of the half here. Bar a very miraculous turnaround. Team Space with some decisions to make. As you said, 2 saved rifles essential. They will be able to buy around it. Danists will have that AWP. Can he continue to find impact with it? Can he continue to be the catalyst for Team Space's success? What's the call? Over on the Apogee side of things. Again, there's presence shown towards the A ramp. This time it's slower. And that's a lovely call. Bleeds the utility in those opening seconds. Team Space so aware of how fast they worked up last time, so they drop the util, and then almost immediately as it fades, Apogee work up behind it. HEs go over the top, chip away at Fozzle. A ramp control is taken, and you can see the CT response is almost a wholehearted rotation away. 3 players, 1 close rotation in towards Gap. Now it's about the counter call. What do Apogee look to do here? At the moment, they're going into the belly of the beast. And at the moment, the beast is coming to meet them. Fozzle, the opening kill. Danist is also working his way up. Scaff simultaneously. The AWP is in position, but it's Danis AWP who finds 1 as well. And now this is starting to get really ugly. Swizz and Polo, though, on Tech and an AK respectively, buy themselves the 3-on-2. Make it 2 as Trunic's aggression pays off once more. Can they get this bomb down with 35 seconds left on the clock? Polo knows he's about to be pressured and he can't quite land the shot. The tech will, though, and it buys a golden opportunity. Woo with the headshot. And somehow, some way, in the ugliest of fashions, you have to say it's a brawl that goes the way of Apogee, and it's a brawl that breaks the bank of Space Dean.
Yeah, I mean, the chaotic back and forth that just somehow in the end still goes the way of Apogee. 12-9, a single round to close it out. 3 chances for Space to send it to an overtime. We are definitely getting one of the closer maps of the 3 here on Vertigo, and well, we weren't, again, sure what to expect considering the previous results for both of these teams. As the quick B play is coming in. Okay, Hassan up close, manages the double spray down even while blind. There is a trade elsewhere, but it's only the one so far. So I think Apogee have got to slow this down for the moment, but they have absolutely no control of the map.
Yeah, it has to be B. The only perk is that the CT side haven't really realised that yet. They've not had the firepower or the util to aggress too much elsewhere. Danis has set himself up in towards mid, and there's a freebie for you. Into the back of Polo. That's an AWP recoverable as well. Team Space were never going to take this lying down, and they are giving themselves a fantastic opportunity here. Rifles recovered. Virtuoso is going to go boost behind the wood. Just hoping to catch a bit of a timing. Drops a bit of util. Hot flash goes up, and there we go. Virtuoso will work his way over the angle. Second pot flash goes out high, but Hassanate is so ready for it. Ducks it. Swings wide. Gets his kill. Job done. A 1v4 for Prism. Just looking to strip away any rifles he can realistically. Keep that CT economy on a knife's edge. Danist lies in wait. Ready to help his teammate out. Or Willie. A triple spray down from Prism. And now it is just Danis. He's been the star of the show, and he will be again. The crosshair so close for Apogee's miracle, but it won't quite come to fruition.
Yeah, keeping it in play for now, just about. Although, rebuying is actually going to cost a bit too much for them, I believe. X5 is going to be stuck on an MP9 as well. They've got 2 SMGs alongside the couple of M4s in the op, and well, the purchase up for the T side isn't so bad. They've got all rifles. One Galil, sure, the nades could be slightly better, but they've got the firepower at the very least. This round here, it's incredibly important. If Space take it, then they'll have an easier time in the following to try and actually send it to the overtime. The problem is an opening kill already there on mid coming through for Apogee. Gives Team Space really on the back foot.
We asked for individuals to step up. Polo is right up there. Swizz as well. And it's Polo who finds the opening. Mid control conceded and almost turtling inside of their respective sites now. Team Space, a 2-2 split. Aggression is the call. They want the information and they're going to get it here. Apogee just abandoning the ramp. And the CT side now know it. Now they can start to turn. Work those defenses into a better position. A couple of players will look to pinch in towards mid. Danist will remain posted. Hassanator will back him up. It wants to be the split again here. There's going to be more resistance than expected for Apogee. 3 players from the CT side lie in wait. X5, the only man still stationed towards A. Molotov forces Trunic off his first angle. That MP9 resets though. And now the mid push starts to come in. Trunic and Hassanator, they are ready for this. They are lying in wait and they are chewing through it. 4 kills. Danis with a couple towards the ramp. The job is done. And as you said, Dean, they are right on the precipice of OT.
Yeah, I mean, that round, I want to say is all but confirmed that it's going to be Tech9's and Kevlar here for Apogee, but now that I've said that, maybe I've jinxed this, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
it's an ugly buy.
A Mac 10, very limited utility once again. We see something quick from them maybe, but mostly Tech9s, I would imagine.
Yeah, will they be ruined? Missed opportunities is the big question here. They had their chances. They had their series points. Now they've slipped away. HE goes in. Huge damage for Trunic. Molotov to follow up could flush them out of this B-pop entirely. It is going to be the B-pop here with 4 players lying in wait on the stairs. They're just hoping that someone is stationed close behind that wood, hoping for a flashbang in. For now, nothing is coming. Polo lines up the util. Prism lurks towards A to try and draw crosshairs to keep them busy, and here it comes. All or nothing for the T side as they charge on in. It's the tech up close. Polo gets one on the Deeg, and it is the tech getting one onto X5. It's a double over towards the A bomb site, but they're committed to B. The bomb will have to go down here. Polo with the man with it in his possession. He will get it down. Virtuoso close. There is timings everywhere. They know there's a backstab coming, and Trunic is low from the initial charge, as is Prism. So he has to go hunt, and the AWP of Danis has to try and find the opening. It won't quite come through, though. And now he charges in, misses his shot, only a leg, and that is it. A fast-paced charge into the B-bomb site with Tex is what gets it over the line for Apogee, for Bragiliskilas, whatever you want to call them. They get the job done. They send Team Space to the lower bracket. It takes every single round on that third and final map. It takes everything they've got, you have to say, but eventually they are able to overcome the individual